No homo.
I have been falling for 30 minutes! If you actually think that I was just the right gay guy, gay guy, gay guy, gay guy, gay guy, gay guy. And you just took care of me.
I'm a kiss in the backseat. You know just how we do.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Tony, Toned F. Welcome to the Clown World Review for the Monday Night War retrospective. And yeah, an excuse for the Kelly clip. Like I said at the beginning, no homo. So please don't get any weird ideas. How is everybody doing this evening? Very big show tonight. We're going to be reviewing the 2 weeks of wrestling heading into Bash at the Beach 1996. And then we're going to talk about the happenings at Bash at the Beach. If you couldn't tell by the thumbnail, some big things happened, so I'm excited. Can't wait to talk about it. I know myself and many others on the panel, we've been looking forward to this moment for a while. So I'm glad it's here, and I'm glad we're entering this new era in professional wrestling. The best time in professional wrestling, in my opinion. Shout out to superfan Adam Shawhan. Thank you for joining us, brother. It's always warms my heart when I see you in the chat, man. Good shit. And yeah, with that, let's go ahead and introduce the panel. First, he's got the red, white, and blue running through his veins like he's Demi Lovato. He was born and raised in the USA like he's Osama bin Laden, Mr. Etep Wokuian. How are you?
It is. I'm excellent, brother. Thank you. It is I, it is he, it is me, Etep Wokuian from the Place to Be Reviews, right back here with all of you, the Clown World Review, Tuesday night, the Monday Night War retrospective. This time, this was literally the best time to be a wrestling fan. It was, to say the words, it was just too sweet. Yeah, I'm happy to be here. Hail the chat, hail the panel. Man, let's get talking about some wrestling.
Just a few months ago, we were watching Hulk Hogan in front of Pasta Mania. Like, when can we get to the NWO? So I'm glad to be here.
I was like, do I wear the NWO garb or do I wear because I got like the whole Hollywood Hogan get up too. So I think eventually I'll come on sporting the Hollywood Hogan rig. I'm not dyeing the goatee again. I can't do that. I can't bleach it again. I can't. I emotionally I can't deal with that. It hurts. And physically. Thank you for having me, brother.
Definitely, man. Next up is well, I'll just put it this way. He doesn't sparkle like Batman. Mr. Angelous Draven, our resident vampire. How are you, sir? Nice thumbnail, by the way.
Thanks. I'm doing good. I'm looking forward to talking some wrestling tonight. I wasn't able to watch Nitros on that, but I'm going to watch them just because, like you said, this is a turning point where all the good things out of wrestling that we know and love start. So, yeah.
Yes. I think Sting gets too little credit for that Wolfpack makeup. I thought that was pretty cool, but a lot of people say they didn't like it. I like it.
Yeah, maybe, I don't mind it.
Yeah, maybe not the red shirt, maybe a black shirt to help contrast it, but yeah. That was one of my least favorite Wolfpack shirts. I just like Austin 316. I like just the regular NWO shirts, whether they're white and black or red and black. Those always were the most appealing. And in fact, you'll know what I'm talking about right now because he's from the PWO. He'll talk shit. He'll nibble your toes, fool. Mr. Tommy in the Guinea Pig Collective. How are you, sir?
What's going on, brother? The PWO has been waiting for this moment because this is going to be the birth of the PWO. Oh, wait a minute. This birth of the NWO. Oh, Jesus. I got that all mixed up. It doesn't really matter because we're here. We're here to nibble. We're here to take no prisoners. I heard you saying big things happening. Etep was suffering a little bit of that on the last stream. But, hey, we're here and we're ready to get into this, man. It's good to see you guys.
Yeah, it's always great to see you, man. Whatever we're talking about birth and wrestling, I think of Mark Henry and Mae Young's hand, and then I think of Snitsky punning Lita and Matt Hardy's baby into that. I know in storylines it was Kane, or not even Matt Hardy, Edge's baby, but maybe she was with Matt Hardy at the time. Either way, nobody knows who's fucking
I always felt that Snitsky had that face that made people would want to go out and have babies. Was that just me?
Yeah, just so we can pun him. Yeah,
that was the last thing I thought about before sexy time was Snitsky's face punting a baby or trying to suck Lita's toes on Raw.
How do you think that came out like backstage? Like, well, what should we do tonight, Vince? Have Snitsky punt the fucking baby.
It'd be great. It'd be great. Hey, Pat, get your tongue out of Briscoe's ass. You know what'd be great? We have Snitsky suck Lita's toes like he's Quentin Tarantino, and then he's gonna punt a fucking baby.
They're like, creative is just sitting there like jaws on the floor. And Vince is smiling, going like, it's like that meme where he's like, like that. Like he's sitting there with that look on his face. And creative is like, fuck it, we want to keep our jobs. Yeah, that sounds great, boss. Let's run it. We'll write it up. We'll do it. We got it.
Yeah. Now,
we got
it. Did you guys hear of the baby storyline? And actually it is two, but the baby storyline that Vince came up with, it's even worse than Mae Young's hand or Snitsky punning Lita's baby, and it's never made it on TV. But Vince McMahon once suggested that Stephanie McMahon be pregnant, and after so many weeks / months, it comes out that Vince McMahon is the father in an incest story.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
I vaguely remember that. It would have been better if it was Macho Man's baby, but
Yes.
like
After Stephanie was like, gross, no, he was like, well, what about Shane?
what the fuck?
How about nobody I'm related to, Dad?
How about, I could see him, he's like, how about your mother and a turkey baster? Don't backtalk me.
And speaking of turkey basters, hail Brutal Morningwood. It's good to see you, man. Thank you for joining us.
Come on, Stephanie. You know the closer to kin, the deeper it goes in.
How about if Pat Patterson's the dad, Stephanie? He'll pretend you're a dude.
Yeah, nobody, that'll break suspension of disbelief. Like, though she, cut her hair, she looks a little like Vince. I could see that. So
I wonder if she can do the walk. You think she ever does the walk? Like Triple H is like, hey, Stephanie, hey, Stephanie, do the walk. And she comes into the bedroom. She's like, has the fucking theme music playing and shit.
I bet you they do it every single night. Yeah, Stephanie, you think you can do the walk for me? It gets me so hot.
Even though his roid dick is like only halfway there at best.
At this point, she'd probably rather be fucking Shane.
Wow.
Back to the Pat Patterson thing. I might have been mistaken because she's got a deep voice, and if he just keeps it in his mind that she came from Vince's balls, that might be enough for him to for them to have the baby for the storyline. So
he could have just pretended it was her, but never mind.
With that being said, who heard the big news today concerning WrestleMania 38?
I did because you told me. Wait, is it WrestleMania? What WrestleMania is it this year? Is it 38?
38. Let's we'll go ahead before we announce it. We'll go ahead and play the video and hopefully not get a copyright strike because it's on Twitter. So I think we'll be okay. When did they start putting ads on Twitter? What the hell?
I don't Did they? I don't know.
I just
That's
got a
stupid.
Skittles ad at the beginning.
They've been doing it for a while. That's what 90% of my blocks on Twitter consist of, ads.
Hey, Tony, I bet you Pat Patterson wants to taste the rainbow.
So wait a minute, this is a wrestling commercial and not a car commercial?
Yeah, that's Stephanie
so
McMahon
cool.
driving away from that storyline.
19 years ago, I wrestled my last match in a WWE ring. After 3 rock bottoms, 1, 2, 3, I lost the match. And for 19 years, I've had to live with that defeat, knowing my time was up. Kevin Owens, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for waking something up deep inside me that I've kept buried for 19 years. Ever since you started running that damn mealy mouth of yours talking about the state of Texas, the great state of Texas, you got my attention. And why would you want to do that, Kevin? I can think of 2 reasons. 1, you are one dumb son of a bitch. And 2, you are fixing to get your ass kicked by Stone Cold Steve Austin. Whether you want to call this a KO show, a match, a fight, a brawl, whatever, I will guarantee you this. In Dallas, Texas, where I started my career at WrestleMania, Stone Cold Steve Austin is going to open up one last can of whoop ass on you, Kevin Owens. And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
So, and from what I hear, I'm not that in the know as far as wrestling news these days, but yeah, he's gonna make an appearance at WrestleMania 38. He's gonna kick Kevin Owens' ass. I always still want to call him Kevin Steen.
So
They've
my
been hitting it
question,
for a while.
my question here, real quick, Angelous, maybe you can help me with this too. But is this one being sponsored by Ensure?
I don't know.
Stone Cold is
old.
he's 50. He's 57.
Well, it's funny
wow.
you mentioned sponsor because I don't, from what I'm hearing, it's not going to be an actual official match. It's going to be more of a spot. He's going to come out, kick Kevin Owens' ass, but it's not going to be an actual, pinfall submission match. They're just going to kind of fight. So that's what I'm thinking it's going to be, is more of a spot, more of a more so than Kane and Pete Rose, obviously, but they're just going to brawl till they move on to the next thing or whatever it is. But yeah, I wanted to see what everyone thought about that. So let's start with you, Draven. What do you think about Steve Austin's announcement today?
I'm all right with it because Kevin Owens uses the stunner. That's one of his finishers. So it's kind of like that, the new and the old kind of going at it.
Like
if it's just a spot,
if they didn't fuck
yeah.
PvP up.
Yeah, exactly. My only thing is if it's a spot, it's kind of like a wasted opportunity. And I remember Stone Cold saying if he comes back, he wants it to be worth it. It needs to be a reason for him to be back, not just I show up and that's it kind of thing. I don't know.
When you talk about a reason to come back, it makes you kind of think twice because Shane ended up getting fired the day after, but Shane McMahon eliminated Kevin Owens from the Royal Rumble, which made him look, in my opinion, made Owens look weak because we're not talking about Shane in his prime either. He's like Vince's age when the Attitude Era started. Shane is old.
Yeah.
So even if Austin's okay, the reason to come back is to put this young man over. I like him, gave him permission to use the stunner so many years ago. I want him to shine while it kind of cancels out when you think about the Royal Rumble. What about you, Tommy?
Well, I'll tell you what, you stupid son of a bitch. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to open up a can of Geritol and I'm going to knock back some Ensure and maybe a few of those other few of those Bengay packets that I got in the back from Pat Patterson about 20 years ago. And Stone Cold Steve Austin is going to walk out of there with a walker because my hips are going to be hurting. And that's the bottom line because Geritol said so. I'm sorry. I think it's interesting that they've got nothing going on, that they have to bring in the old heads to actually try to do something for them. It shows exactly what the WWE is now. They are nothing without spots like this. It doesn't have to be a match. Like I said, it could just be a spot. But the fact that they have to lean on these guys who have been out of the business for, a decade now at this rate? Yeah, that they have to rely on them, and they can't rely on some of the younger talent that they brought through the system and just failed miserably with promoting them the proper way. It just shows what they are and what they've amounted to over the years. Ever since the war with WCW ended, they started going on a bit of a slide. TNA tried to bring it up and tried to give them competition, but they failed and they dropped off. AEW, they just don't have what it takes right now to actually compete with WWE. They put out a really good product, but they do not have the promotional backing to compete with WWE right now. So you're watching this decline to WWE, and they keep going back to the old people again.
Very good point. What about you, Etep?
Stone Cold Steve Austin is 57 years old. Kevin Owens is 37 years old. I loved Stone Cold, man. Back in the day, he was on fire. Dude was hot. He was freaking like new and he was, it was, I don't know. It was like almost like seeing the cool anti-hero, because he was, coming in about the same time the NWO hit big, and he was that. They were the cool heels, and he was a tweener, at first. Well, I mean, he was a heel, but
he was so cool, like the NWO kind of face. Yeah,
that's it. How is that going to translate now versus Kevin Owens? Because Kevin Owens is going to be. You can't have a 57-year-old heel. It doesn't fucking work in this situation, because nobody wants to see Kevin Owens go over, and they're not going to give Kevin Owens this huge monumental push out of this angle. That's the only reason I could see putting Owens over on Austin. Austin giving him the rub would be to give Kevin Owens this huge push. It's not going to happen because Vince doesn't like him. Vince doesn't like his body, and that's why he'll keep him in the mid to upper mid card.
Yeah, purgatory.
For the rest of his career.
Yeah, that's why they screwed him and Jericho with that angle with the list of Jericho and all that stuff.
Yeah,
he doesn't supposed to be like a main event, and then they kind of screwed him and put him in mid card.
Vince doesn't like him. This being said, I don't see a situation where Austin doesn't, get I would say normally go over, but it's not going to be a traditional match. It's going to be, like you said, probably a spot. I almost called him Steen. Owens is going to come out. He'll probably get a little bit of shine on Austin. Austin will cut him off and, hit him with a stunner or two, and then drink some beer, and it's going to be a feel-good moment. And they'll move on, and the rest of the show will probably be an emotional
here's
letdown.
what I'm worried about, Etep. I'm worried about when this is all said and done, that he's going to have to rename his ranch to Broken Hip Ranch.
Yeah, dropping these stunners.
Yeah, man. I've used that move. It doesn't, it's easier for the guy taking it than it is the guy giving it. Because it doesn't feel good falling on your tailbone like that. It does on your ass, unless you got a big ass, which I don't. So it never felt good, No,
there are certain moves, like Randy Savage was always in great shape, except when he got in too good a shape. But towards the end of his career, he couldn't drop the elbow drop anymore because he did it too many times and just landed on them hips too many times. So when we ask why now, from what I understand, and if I'm not mistaken, they were in Dallas for 32, one of the WrestleManias in the 30s, and they got their biggest attendance record ever. They said it was like 100 and something thou, but it was 80 thou. It was their biggest ever, and first off, Hell Gap Stargate, Hail Glenzer, hail Keely Chow, hail the Russian bot. I thought you were cut off. I thought we weren't allowed to communicate anymore, Russian bot. It's good to see you.
Hello, comrade.
Yeah, so from what I understand, they're not selling tickets for WrestleMania, not as many as they were hoping for. So now they're, it's in Texas, Steve Austin. They're trying to get a big push there. But yeah, I'm not a fan. Number one, knowing the storyline going into WrestleMania 19 with The Rock and the end of their trilogy of matches, you kind of knew Steve Austin was giving this one to The Rock and he was riding off into the sunset. It doesn't seem so when he goes out there and says, this has been irking me for 19 years. It doesn't seem like that. And the thing that would irk me is that, after WrestleMania 19, Steve Austin was done and Rock was done. So it's not like the win really helped The Rock, but you got to go back and forth. You got to give him one out of a, 3 match series. I think that would be best if it's not an actual match. It's just Steve Austin will always be one of my favorites, and everybody comes back. Ric Flair had one of the most beautiful retirement matches with Shawn Michaels. It was picture perfect. And like 3 months later, he was wrestling in TNA. And yeah, he had financial problems. I get that, but there are also, you can be in the business without being out there performing.
But Tony, I think that's a big difference between Flair and Austin. Flair was still active. Austin has not been active for over a decade.
Well, exactly, and that's kind of what I wish Austin would not be the one to come back.
Yeah,
I wish he'd be the one to ride into the sunset, because he even talks about how depressed he was after he left the business and really drank too much alcohol and was on a road to where he might not even be here today. I mean, he was in real bad shape, and it took him a long time to get the business out of his system. Some people like Brock Lesnar, they don't care. Brock Lesnar is doing this so he can live the type of life that he wants to live.
Yep.
Shout out to 24 Eyes Outcast Owls Live. It's great to see you, man. Thank you for being here.
Brock Lesnar, I'm sorry to cut you off for a minute, Tony. You were talking about the last time they were in Dallas for Mania.
Yeah.
It was WrestleMania 32. The attendance was 101,763, which it even says in parentheses was disputed.
Yeah, like some people are saying it was more around 80,000 or so.
That sounds right for them.
It all boils down to the point Tommy made. And I get that WWE doesn't want to build too big of stars anymore, especially several of them, because they don't want to get caught with their pants down. They don't want anyone leaving their company, but you need to have stars and you need to have over wrestlers, and they're slowly kind of suffocating because of it. And the fact that number one, it's telling that they're not selling WrestleMania tickets, but to have to go to to somebody who hasn't wrestled WrestleMania 19 to WrestleMania 38. That's a long time.
Well, that's like the Rumble too. Like they rely on like the nostalgia factor, like every other company, to get people back in and to watch, because they're like, oh, well, who's going to show up in the Rumble? Like, some old legend or whatever might show up, and
look what they did with The Rock so many years ago when they brought him back for that short stint.
Yeah,
and what wound up happening? He happened to get hip surgery and shit after that was over. And that's why I'm saying, like, I respect the hell out of a lot of those wrestlers that were doing all that stuff years ago, but they've been away for so long. There's a certain point where you just have to say, is enough is enough. I shouldn't have to come back to the business and do this anymore. Mark Calloway's another one. I wish that when Vince gives him a call, like, oh, I could really use you or whatever, I wish he would just say, no, I'm not going to do it anymore.
He won't.
You had Bray Wyatt, who could fill that role had you built him up correctly, had you put any care or tried to get the man over. And you've got to build stars. And Draven, I agree. Like, they should be going into each Rumble thinking this is going to be the best Rumble yet. This is going to be even bigger than the any nostalgia we can point to.
Yeah, it's been less about who's going to win the Rumble and more about who the hell is going to show up. That's like, all. And then WrestleMania is the same way. It's like, oh, what big star that we used to love is going to be back. Like, that's all everybody cares about.
It takes someone who's been working all year and moves them off the card in order to get Johnny Knoxville or Bad Bunny.
They even have like a rival with him right now, like going on. Like with one of the wrestlers. It's like, what the fuck? Why is he even on normal? I can understand like a pay-per-view, like have him once and done, but during the main program, like what the fuck is this?
Well, not only that, but I think too with WrestleMania, you always got that worry about the guy that may have had the money in the bank or the woman that might have had the money in the bank. And I always wish what they would have did was that money in the bank and say, yeah, it's good for a year except for WrestleMania. That's the only day you can't use it. I wish they would have did that, because it always feels like it tarnishes that big stage performance that everybody is working for all year long, to have somebody who just got an in with a money in the bank because they blew somebody in the back to be able to win it, to be able to get into the main event like that.
And especially now that they've already done it, they could definitely add that stipulation. I just wanted to real quick point on what Draven said too. That's like the side dish to the Rumble is, let's see who shows up, who we haven't seen in so long. But my favorite part of the Rumble is seeing that guy that I really liked at the last year's Rumble, who almost won, who's never been to that dance, but he was a great Intercontinental Champion. He gets a pop every time he comes out, and he's really a rising star. I like to see them, they've never been to the dance, and then they win that Royal Rumble, and then get to go on and fight for the title at WrestleMania, and not in the fucking third match, but in the main event of WrestleMania. That's why you tune in all year, is to see that good road to WrestleMania. And we don't have that anymore. It's all about, what's the biggest match we could put on? Well, Brock versus Reigns for the 16th time. Like,
the only decent thing about that match this year is they're unifying the titles
again.
Oh, again? I didn't know they did it before.
They unified the Universal Championship was from unifying the titles. Like,
they keep fucking that up. I want to go back to Stone Cold for a minute, because from a worker's perspective right now, Austin's going back to the business, because you never the day you fucking die is when you're officially done with the business. You might be done with it, but it's never fucking done with you. It's never done with you. Never. Yeah. I've been out of the ring for 5 years, and I'm going to a show the 10 days before my 42nd birthday to get in the ring and bump around a little bit. Just I'm not doing anything on the show that I know of. I'll record, fucking around in the ring and stuff like that. But no, I'm doing that because I'm completely out of shape for it. But I just want to get in there and just, it hurts, and I want to do it a couple times I miss it, and that's the thing is, like, I spent a decade just on the independent scene, only 2 years active in the ring. The rest of it was managing and ring announcing, which I always took bumps. I always ended up taking fucking bumps. But in working spot matches, but it's you never leave. You never, the business is the cruelest fucking mistress you will ever have, and you can never leave that bitch, never, until you die.
He's niched himself into his little spot in wrestling.
He has.
And I think it's good for him, because people like to hear Stone Cold talk, but
he's still around.
You're putting these newer superstars, you're kind of throwing them into the fire, sitting them across from Steve Austin and putting a mic in their face, because you can't bullshit that guy. He's going to ask the questions. He's going to tell you if you're messing up. He's got a good sense for the business. He really does. When you sit down and talk to him, the guy knows what he's talking about.
Absolutely.
I think that's a great spot for him. Back to what Tommy was saying, I don't want this to turn into an Undertaker thing. And I'm pretty sure Steve Austin, he doesn't have the same sense of loyalty to Vince that Taker has, but we shouldn't be bringing back these 50, 60-year-old wrestlers so you can try to sell tickets. build some stars. Stop having your daughter go out
Yep.
there and smack anyone with momentum in the face to remind them and the fans who's really in charge here. It's like, it's the corporation. It's what we used to boo in the late
Mhm.
90s, early 2000s, except for that's just what it is now, and it sucks. That's
Well-
why people didn't like Cena. Cena was that corporate champion. Roman Reigns was that corporate champion. We don't want someone
Seth Rollins with the Authority when
Yeah.
Stephanie and all them were the Authority.
And Reigns is better. He's got a pretty good character now that they're not trying to, hey, look, it's our new Bob Backlund. But
Yeah, and then when they have anybody that goes against that, like CM Punk
They
or
punish
somebody
them.
like that, they punish them, and then they get pissed off when they speak out about it, like even if it is live.
Austin
like with
Theory
the
is
pipe bomb.
literally walking around with Zack Ryder's gimmick right now.
Mhm.
But look, what did they do to Zack Ryder? They buried that guy and did everything. And they tried to do that to Daniel Bryan. They tried.
Yeah.
Sad. Nexus, Wade Barrett.
But speaking of Daniel Bryan, we had Moxley and them at Revolution, and then they were kind of not gonna like shake each other's hands after the match, and then William Regal showed up because he signed with AEW now.
I
So-
heard about that. He looked pretty good
He
too. I
did
need to
look
go
good.
back and watch the results. I heard Sting took some bump.
Sting went through 30 tables.
Wait,
I
how
thought
many?
You were frozen.
3.
Etep. I swear I thought Etep was frozen. I was like, oh, let me wait for him to come back.
He went through 3 tables because he did a spot off of I think the stage, if I'm not mistaken, and it was
God
a
damn it,
triple
Sting.
threat, and they won. I think.
God
Did it
damn
make
Sting.
Lex Luger's head bubble?
Oh yeah,
Fucking
but that man
Luger.
can still fucking go. Like,
Yes.
you know, despite being, you know, as old as he is and fucking all the injuries that he's had, he can still go.
Yeah, thanks, Seth Rollins.
Yeah, exactly.
Piece of shit.
And
Uh,
that's of course after Triple H had to bury him. So let's jump into this week's we're looking at the week of June 24th, 1996, and we're gonna start with Raw, which did get a 2 point, and now from here on out, Raw's gonna lose until 1998. They've got a long 85 weeks in front of them. So Raw garnered a 2.7 to Nitro's 3.3. We're 2 weeks out from Bash at the Beach 1996. Raw's emanating from Green Bay, Wisconsin. And yeah, our current champs, we have WWF champion Shawn Michaels, the Intercontinental champion Ahmed Johnson, the tag champion Smoking Guns. And we start off, we're in the middle of Hunter's punishment right now for the curtain call. He's basically going to lose to everybody, but they at least have him on the card and he's wrestling names. So, and Vince, from what I understand, really didn't want to punish Hunter, but he kind of had to. Like, the locker room wasn't taken that well. They kind of threw kayfabe to hell, and videos were getting out on the internet, so he had to punish Hunter. So that being said, Hunter wrestled Intercontinental Champion Ahmed Johnson in a non-title match, and he would eventually take that Pearl River plunge, and Ahmed Johnson goes over. And Doc Hendricks actually interviews Ahmed Johnson after that, and while Lawler's calling Ahmed Johnson the Buster Douglas of the WWF, and I liked what Ahmed Johnson had to say, I did. And it would be nice to hear something like this in modern times. Doc Hendricks is like, you're the first African-American Intercontinental Champion. And Ahmed Johnson said, yeah, that's nice, but I'm not just the Intercontinental Champion for African Americans, or not just for white people, or this person or that person. He's like, I want to represent everybody with this Intercontinental Championship. I want to be in the ring, wrestling and striving and winning for everybody. I want to be a champion of the people. And it's kind of beautiful to hear. Made me like Ahmed a lot more than I had. Then Doc Hendricks asks him about a return match with Goldust. Ahmed said he's not hard to find. On the other hand, yeah, Goldust isn't easy to understand. So, good promo from him. Probably one of the better promos I've heard from Ahmed Johnson. And Sounds like it meant a lot to him winning that Intercontinental Championship. We also get the Body Donnas with Cloudy. Who's
That's all.
gonna?
It's like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah, Sonny's adversary, Cloudy, which is basically pre-Santino Marella. Like, yeah. It was it's something you'd find in a Target bathroom. Anyway, the Body Donnas go against the Brooklyn Brawler and Jerry Fox. Who do you think won this one, Etep?
I'm gonna take Barry Horowitz or Brooklyn Brawler. Is that what you said? I thought you said Barry Horowitz.
The Body
Brooklyn Brawler?
Donnas versus the Brooklyn Brawler and Jerry Fox. Who do you think won?
Anybody with a guy named Jerry Fox in their team has got to be a winner.
Skip hits the Super Frankensteiner on Fox, and then Zip finishes him with the whoopee cushion, and the Body Donnas go over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Sonny's on commentary this time. I like Sonny on commentary. She's bitching about Cloudy, and Cloudy is flicking his stubble at Sonny. And it was pretty
and he tries to hit on Lawler.
Yeah.
Lawler's having none of it.
Yeah. Good times. Next we get Vader, Owen Hart, and Davey Boy Smith with Jim Cornette and Diana Hart Smith versus Savio Vega, Aldo Montoya, and Barry Horowitz. So this ends now. So they're going to start pushing. We're done with WrestleMania now. We're past King of the Ring. SummerSlam 96 is going to be everyone's favorite match. Shawn Michaels defending the WWF Championship against Vader. So they're trying to make Vader look strong right now. And he actually avalanches Aldo Montoya, and then Bulldog hits his running power slam, and Owen Hart applies the sharpshooter to the future Just Incredible, and they beat them in a little over 4 minutes. And then we get the good part of Raw, kind of a historical part in my view. Brian Pillman appears on crutches, and yeah, he basically plays his loose cannon gimmick, curses on air, confronting Vince about his paycheck, really playing up that anything can happen when Pillman's on the screen, feeling, which it does. I mean, again, it sucks he got into that car accident, because I think he would have been the perfect foil for Stone Cold Steve Austin. At least, right after WrestleMania 14, they used to be tag partners. They both had a really hot gimmick. But yeah, Vince apologizes for what Pillman said. Then we get this amazing match for Raw. The main event of Raw tonight is The Undertaker with Paul Bearer versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's got to be, if not the... I'm sure they went back and forth a few times before Austin became like the mega face that he was. But, I mean, you don't... When you think of Undertaker versus Steve Austin, looking back, you don't think about a heel Steve Austin and a dead man Taker. Maybe one Taker was the American Badass, the invasion angle, sure. So yeah, they have a pretty good match. Austin was definitely acting heelish, doing things, trying to basically get an underhanded win over Taker.
Going for that leg.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking knee checking it, or shoulder checking him in the knee. Taker ends up hitting a choke slam, but then Steve Austin looked funny. He's got stitches in his lip, and then gold dust all over his body. Gold dust shows up. Throws some gold into Taker's face for the DQ. Taker has to fight off Austin a little more before he celebrates with Paul Bearer. Paul seems unsure of what Taker's going to do. Then Taker just kind of kneels in front of the urn. They played a little bit of tension because... Okay. Goldust was trying to play up like that Paul Bearer allowed Taker to basically deal with what he dealt with last week with Mankind. And yeah, anyway, they played some drama in between Paul Bearer and Taker, which is a little weird because we're still like a year out before they start, over a year out before they start really pushing Kane and drawing that division between him and Paul Bearer. I know Paul Bearer screws him over at some point.
Yeah, because then doesn't he manage Kane?
Yeah, like he's the one that even, you've got a brother Undertaker and he's coming to the WWF. Like, but
Damn
I
you,
gotta,
Undertaker!
yeah,
Kane's your brother. Sorry.
I gotta look
See that
that up
really well.
because, oh, I guess it is 19. Okay, all right, that makes sense then. So that they're teasing some tension between old Paulie B and Mark Calloway. So, and then it says here that actually it's SummerSlam during the Boiler Room, because I was like, I know Mankind is involved, but I kept saying it's not SummerSlam 96 though, but it is. That's when Paul Bearer is going to turn on Undertaker. So they're really starting to plant the seeds for that angle. So, which had me like, I'm like, why is there tension between them? Because it just, and even then, it just kind of seems like out of nowhere. But we also watch a lot of wrestling every week, so maybe I missed something. Hail VinnieArt, how are you, sir?
Hey guys, still a little bit under the weather, but I want to come hang out, so I'm
Oh,
here.
Hey, Vinny.
yeah.
Hey,
What
hey.
what a miss,
Hey,
fellas. Hey.
So we were talking. We started the show off. Steve Austin released a tweet earlier. Kevin Owens has been trashing Texas, and there's been rumors of Steve Austin making a return at WrestleMania 38. And it's funny, just like a couple days ago, the story started breaking that Steve Austin turned down WWE's offer to come back, and which made me happy. I'm like, good. I don't, need to see Steve Austin in the ring anymore. He's my favorite wrestler, but
Right.
but no, he said he's coming back and he's going to kick Kevin Owens' ass up and down the arena in Dallas, Texas. From what we understand, it's not going to be an official match. It'll probably be more of a spot. Etep kind of said it best. Kevin Owens will start getting over on Austin. Austin will hit a couple stunners, drink some beer for the crowd. But that's kind of the big wrestling news story today. Steve Austin's going to be at WrestleMania 38 because they can't sell tickets in Texas.
Wow.
And they had WrestleMania 32 in the same stadium, and they had like their all-time attendance record. And now they can't come close to selling.
They try to blame the pandemic
of
on
course.
the shit, and it's like, dude, you can't use that excuse anymore. Like, it's
Nope.
fucking done. Like,
Yeah.
get the fuck out of here. Your sales are down because your fucking product is shit. Like,
Of course.
you're in
Yeah.
people, it's shit.
It's
That's why
Ukraine's
nobody
fault.
wants to
It's
go see
Ukraine.
your shows.
That's embarrassing as shit is what it is.
Yeah,
Well,
it is. The products and the fact that they, sorry, Etep, the fact that they need to bring someone back from that long ago, it just shows they don't build stars. I didn't mean to cut you off, Etep.
You're fine, brother. You're fine. No, and the problem is, look at the wrestling business. Look at who your fans are. Okay, you now in 2022 have a generation of fans who all they know is like WWE and then probably some indie shit and overseas too. But mostly the WWE fans, guarantee they're not watching the Japan shit. Any of that stuff. They're WWE. You can tell in the comment sections of wrestling groups that these people don't know shit from Shinola about
channels
wrestling.
and stuff too, like YouTube channels that are just WWE. You can tell that they don't know shit. Like,
Yeah,
It's they know WWE. They don't
Yeah.
know wrestling.
it's like
You know,
there's a
that's the
cheeseburger and there's
Exactly.
a Big Mac. A Big Mac is kind of its own thing, and a WWE is a Big Mac.
Yep.
It's not quite a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Hell blends are cloudy with a chance of grapefruit.
I'm a genetic jackhammer.
Yeah, they shouldn't. Like, everyone brought up some great points, but the fact is, when they do stuff like this, it's the same as when Marvel shows a Captain Marvel or a Shang-Chi or an Eternals trailer, yet Captain America and Iron Man are in them. Like, hey, we're the same company that brought you this. Like, I'm tired. Now, it's fine. I'm going to say this on the Monday Night War retrospective. I'm fucking tired of talking about the Attitude Era. I want to see something just as good right now, or even 2 notches as good right, like something compelling. And they refuse to do it. Their business is slowly dying. They're really making money on TV deals and shit right now, and their tape library. Let's build some stars up. Okay, if Austin wants to put Owens over, well, it cancels itself out because Shane McMahon just eliminated Owens from the Rumble. If they put Austin over, Owens, an active wrestler, is losing to somebody who hasn't stepped in the ring in 19 years.
Right.
Yep.
If they do this spot, for me to be entertained by it with Stone Cold, they need to do it where Owens is like running throughout the arena like the whole time, just getting his ass kicked by Austin, and then it eventually culminates in the ring and do it. But the whole night, I don't know, that's just me. But the whole night it would just be Owens either running from Stone Cold or he has like a slight altercation, he slightly gets away. It's like this cat and mouse kind of thing.
Roddy Piper and Goldust kind of feel. Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, I just don't see many positives coming out of this other than the initial holy shit, it's Stone Cold at WrestleMania. But yeah,
it's cheap.
So
yeah, it'd be more of a mar on his legacy at this point. Either way, this really like I always talk about the intergender matches, how they only benefit one person. This doesn't really benefit anybody except Vince McMahon. Honestly. And that's at the end of the day, his massive fucking ego is the root and the crux of all his issues. If he would have not bought every fucking other wrestling organization like his dad promised not to, we would still have a flourishing wrestling business, and you wouldn't see indie promotions drawing, 50, 60, 100 people. They'd be back drawing 400 or 500,000 people a show. Again, you'd have, by now, if WCW hadn't went under and ECW hadn't went under, you would probably have, I would say, at least 6 major promotions running right now at this point in history. You'd have 6 promotions running because WCW was going to rebrand. We all know the story that didn't happen, the Big Bang. For them, but ECW might not be around because let's be honest, Paulie was terrible with money. Paulie sold a dream.
Creative mind. Yeah, he's
not a financial.
Yeah.
No, he's not a financial guy at all. He's a wrestling mind, exactly.
Glenser, they used to show free for alls on like the free pay-per-view channel. Sorry to cut you off. I don't know if they still do that, but they used to show like
basically.
Yeah, they used to show couple matches for free, maybe the tag title match on free pay-per-view to lure customers in. But everything's changed since they went to the network or to Peacock. I heard Vince has these hang-ups. I hear they're not allowed to call them pay-per-views anymore.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Streaming entertainment.
Yeah, something like special streaming events or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's gay as shit.
Yep. So then we went over the
Speaking of which, I was going to say, did Cody go over yet?
No. Apparently, there's speculations that they can't come up with a deal or something.
Well, what I'm hearing is, okay, number one, I've been thinking this is a work from the beginning.
Right.
And maybe they couldn't work out the finances of the business deal in time. But Tony Khan, the owner of AEW, just bought Ring of Honor.
Yep.
So some people are thinking Cody's going to show up over there. I don't. It would be a really dumb move for Cody Rhodes to turn up in WWE. after all the shit he
Mhm.
talked. And
It'd be super ridiculous because
We're just gonna bury him.
yeah,
Yeah, and I heard too, like, that he's got info and all that shit too with what they make, and he's willing to give it all to fucking to McMahon. It's like this whole thing is retarded. But that one dude, that he got Ring of Honor, but he's also streaming it all. I think they said on HBO,
really.
which is going to be even bigger. That is fucking massive right there.
That
That's
could
a
be
huge.
interesting.
Yeah, that's a huge fuck you to McMahon.
It gives you
What's
the
on
boxing
HBO Max?
feel. Ring of Honor.
Ring of
Oh,
Honor.
nice.
Every
gives
one of
you
those
the-
matches.
Because they
Not
used to have
really.
all the boxing matches on like Showtime, and so it kind of gives it that kind of a
Yeah.
feel.
If that's the case, they should do all of AEW's past stuff and just put it over there on HBO Max. 'Cause that's my only issue with AEW right now is that like you can't watch like their back catalog.
Yes, I know.
So this is my thing with Ring.
app, actually TNT app. If you have cable, you can.
Mhm.
It'll give you some of the back. Real quick, Etep, keep that thought.
Yeah.
I just want to say, hail Small Time Republic and 24 Eyes. Ring of Honor went to Tony Khan. He didn't go to ROH.
Yeah.
But what I was saying, I think Cody might show up in Ring of Honor. Maybe, just to give it that boost. Yeah.
Do an invasion angle, man. If you're gonna keep Ring of Honor running, you know what I mean. If Khan bought it, let it be Ring of Honor. Don't do. And this is where you can recreate the invasion angle and fucking make it a draw because you have 20 years worth of fucking experience and research that you can do on how to book that fucking This is the thing. Ruin, yeah. I don't. But this is the and I've wanted to do something like this, for with a promotion for so fucking long, and that's we kind of did it with the whole team ratings thing, but you've got two separate entities, and you can develop it's like a controlled rivalry, you know what I mean, controlled opposition, and it would work if you rebook it right, and don't just send Cody in. Do it, tease it a little bit here and there, have him cut a few promos. You have to get creative with it and don't do a straight takeoff, but, try to capture, at least a little bit of that and give each side a couple W's along the way. And you could still build Ring of Honor up, into a decent size they were basically an upper level indie company.
I still think CM Punk would be a better choice than Cody Rhodes, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Because he was all about Ring of Honor anyway.
Yep. Well, he used to work there.
Yeah.
Most of these guys did at one point or another.
Yep.
But yeah, it could be. And I used to watch the Ring of Honor shows. Some of my boys have went through there, and it was cool to watch them on TV. But yeah, it could be done right. That's the caveat is you've got to have an acumen for it. And I don't watch much AEW. I don't, because a lot of it. There's a lot of talented cats there, but there's a lot of it that it's all the things that are wrong with fucking wrestling now. Except for Jade Cargill, who I would pay money to demean me.
I was going to say that's one of the things about Ring of Honor, though. They've been around for so long, and so many people have actually graced their doors on the way out to bigger bigger companies. I mean, some of those guys that passed through Ring of Honor they were there for years, wound up in NXT, and then went from NXT up onto the main roster, and then some of them wound up over in AEW now. I mean, so that has seen a fair share of talent pass through that place. So it's got a pretty decent history. I mean, even though it only dates back to what is it, like 2002?
Yeah, somewhere in the early 2000s. Yeah,
but 20 years, man, that's a good chunk of time.
I'm pretty sure that Ring of Honor was actually another company before that. Like they bought out the skeleton of another company and turned it into Ring of Honor.
Possibly. But yeah, when you look at main eventers and upper mid carders and stuff in WWE and AEW, it's full of former Ring of Honor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, John Moxley,
Yeah, that's
Seth
Forbidden Door
Rollins.
with AEW, so like you could do Pete was saying, Etep, you could do the invasion angle and it would work fine because they already have like the groundwork kind of to make it happen.
They just have to do it right because WWE really botched that, in my opinion. So,
Ring of Honor's been around. Oh, sorry, Ring of Honor's been around since February 23rd, 2022. Or 2002, Jesus Christ. February 23rd, 2002. It was
now.
Yeah, they've been around for 2 weeks, but it was founded by Rob Feinstein and Gabe Sapolsky.
Yeah, Gabe Sapolsky. Yeah. So another thing we went over, Vinny, was the Raw from June 24th, 1996. It was main evented by The Undertaker versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, which just a really cool main event because they'll be main eventing SummerSlam 1998 in about 2 years.
Nice.
So that was cool. We got a little build up, but I mean, just a lot of Godwin's stuff. We talked about Ahmed Johnson's promo because us saying a promo like this nowadays would be cool. Doc Hendricks goes to interview him, says, "You're the first African American Intercontinental Champion, Ahmed Johnson. How do you feel about that?" And Ahmed Johnson's like, "Obviously, I'm proud, but I'm not just a champion for black people. I'm not just a champion for white people. I want to be a champion of the people. I want to be in this ring wrestling for everybody, you know." And it was nice to hear. Hail Johnny Cage.
Hail.
Just I don't feel like we'd hear that often these days from too many
That's
people.
true. Yeah, because you can't say all lives matter. So kind of along those lines.
That's racist.
You're not allowed to care about everybody.
No.
How dare you not care about the blacks?
You're a black man. You got to be wrestling for the black people.
Why don't you wrestle for the blacks? What the hell's wrong with you? God damn it. If I can Aborigines running around out here.
Do we have any dark matches for the June 24th Nitro emanating from Charlotte, North Carolina? The Independence Arena?
Right after we talked about black people, you said dark matches. Come on, Tony.
Yes.
You got to do better.
And this show was not on Juneteenth. We stay away from that one. But yes, we do have it. We do have a dark match. Hey, bud, dark match. Get it? There's no blicks in it though.
Real quick, I did mention when Tony Khan bought Ring of Honor. I mentioned this to Draven. Like, we're in such an upside down world now that if Tony Khan bought Ring of Honor to turn it into the Negro League, that would be celebrated.
I think it would.
Yeah.
You'd be like, we're gonna have an all black wrestling organization. Okay, that's fine. You guys are awesome. Oh my god, how courageous. Hey, there's an all white wrestling league. Jesus Christ, what a bunch of Yahtzees.
Yeah. All the minorities go to ROH. We'll put you on HBO.
Here's something interesting. So I was doing some of the back checking on Ring of Honor. The guy who founded it, you know why he founded it? In 2001, he was looking for something to head up his RF video sales and promotion, and he tried making a deal with CZW, Combat Zone Wrestling, and it didn't happen. So that's when he decided to form this to lead up his promotion brand for his video.
So it was that or porn.
RF video. They do a lot of shoots. Yeah, they do a lot of shoot interviews. I think that's a lot of the ones I used to watch. Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, prior to that, their biggest seller was the ECW tapes.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. Those were hot back in the mid to late 90s, man. Those, you get a hold of an ECW tape, yeah. I remember when they used to send out the paper flyers. Like when you ordered something, you would get like a paper flyer from. That was fucking dope. I still have a couple of them.
That was just it was one step below Faces of Death, getting an ECW tape.
Yeah, I know.
I remember though. I remember renting those from the video store.
So
yeah, we do have a dark match on Juneteenth here, bud. Right?
Yes.
There's no Blicks involved in it. There's Ric Flair, the Nature Boy, woo, with styling and profiling with Miss Elizabeth and Woman, of course, who really, really likes her some Mean Gene. Defeated Randy Macho Man Savage in a dark match.
That makes sense because they're in Charlotte, North Carolina. That's horseman country.
Yes,
So-
absolutely.
Hour one, our hosts are Tony Schiavone, and Larry Zbyszko. We get another clip of Kevin Nash power bombing Bischoff off the stage. Yeah, and then Gene Okerlund interviews the opposition for the yet unnamed interruption, the outsiders. They're Sting, Lex Luger, and Randy Savage. All of them have their face painted. Lex almost calls it the WWF, but changes.
Yeah,
like
I was gonna say, I
midstream.
hope you caught
Yeah.
that, because he was like the WCW. I'm like, oh, you and your stupid face.
Yeah,
And all those drugs.
it's like
Yep.
Paul White's in AEW now, and fucking Jim Ross is screaming, "It's the Big Show!" And one time he called Kenny Omega the WWE champion. Ew.
Good God.
So,
Son of a
Um,
bitch.
Ah, son of a bitch.
So the Steiners come in, let Sting and Luger know they have their backs. Then Harlem Heat steps in, complains about Lex Luger hitting Booker T with the coins months ago in Las Vegas. So it turns into a triangle tag match for the titles tonight. Shivani heard a rumor that I keep wanting to call him Diesel. Kevin Nash and Scott Hall are in the building. Then we get Public Enemy versus the Blue Bloods with Earl Robert Eaton, which was just Public Enemy versus the Blue Bloods. I mean, nothing great. Grunge
No.
blasts one of them with a cast for the 1, 2, 3. Yeah, then we get Kevin Sullivan with Jimmy Hart versus Kip Abbey. So
Jesus, that was what a clusterfuck that was. Hey, just beat this guy all over the arena, then just leave him out there and come down the ring and cut a promo with Mean Gene in your Hulk Hogan gear, okay, Kevin?
don't forget the Subway product placement.
Oh yeah, they did brawl right in front of the Subway.
Yeah, there's like a little like portable Subway cart at the arena. And
Yep.
yes. So yeah. Next, we get the Glacier promo, and he's going to be appearing here soon. And then the WCW Cruiserweight Champion Dean Malenko defends against Hard Work Bobby Walker, who we've
Oh
seen
my
like
God.
once before, and he botched his finisher. He's from
Do
the
you-
WCW Power Plant.
He worked that match with Brad Armstrong, right? Remember that? And
Yeah.
the whole time I'm watching the match, I'm waiting for some interference or something to happen, because I'm like, they're not going to let these two jackoffs wrestle this whole match, are they?
Yeah, he's like
That-
Sheldon Benjamin going 50%.
Yeah. Yeah. Hard work, Bobby Walker, baby. I'm like, I thought it was Hard Body Harrison at first. I was like, is this the crackhead that kept them girls locked in his basement? Because he's in prison for that shit, for like human trafficking.
Wow.
So while
Yeah.
this match is going on, Disco Inferno, who's going to be facing Dean Malenko at Bash at the Beach, his music hits. He comes down and he just gets into the ring with them wrestling, and he's doing his stupid dance, jumps on the ropes and shakes his hips. He's got a gold record with him.
Has he
While-
broken a record yet with, the amount of consecutive losses?
Right.
Not
Right.
Almost. He's
And
close.
it's funny you say that because, okay, Dean Malenko hits a Northern Lights suplex, pins Bobby Walker, and then Disco goes to break a record over Dean Malenko's back, but Malenko catches him. They get into it, and Malenko basically says he's the man of 1,000 holds, but at Bash at the Beach, he's only going to need one to defeat Disco. So, and that's the truth.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
That move is a bitch slap.
Can't
Yes.
believe they're having him fight him in a main event or in a pay-per-view.
I
That's
know.
funny.
I know. Disco was good for like the in-person audience to really, it's
Mhm.
the uppity music, and he's fun,
Yep.
kind of like in the same way Hacksaw is, but not much
Yeah.
past that.
Mhm.
So we get Eddie Guerrero versus the Barbarian. Yeah, basically, Barbarian attempts to superplex Eddie back into the ring when Eddie's out on the apron, but Eddie reverses that and gets the 1-2-3. Afterwards, Gene Okerlund talks to Eddie. He wants a rematch he had from 3 months ago with Conan for the U.S. title at Uncensored.
Yeah.
Because, during the match, Guerrero got hit with the maracas off a leapfrog. So Okerlund asks him what he thinks about the hostile takeover match at Bash at the Beach. And I don't really get an answer because it goes to commercial, but who cares? It's just Eddie Guerrero,
Yeah. He's like, Esse, I want my title match, Esse.
Yeah. I want my
Give me
title
my
shot.
fucking, give me me fucking title shot, man.
Yes. So we go into hour 2 now. The hosts are Tony Schiavone and Bobby Heenan. Bischoff is still out due to the power bomb. And we start with Arn Anderson and Chris Benoit with Steve Mongo McMichael versus the Rock and Roll Express. Earlier during the which tag match? Public Enemy and the Blue Bloods, it showed Flair and the Horsemen out. They had another VIP table set up with food on it, the kind that Lex Luger got chokeslammed through a few weeks ago. So Savage kind of destroys that, and they said, well, he can. His money bought it anyway. But the crowd is real pro Horsemen. Like the Rock and Roll Express are supposed to be the baby faces here, but they're in Charlotte.
They're in Horseman country, but damn, I have never heard the Rock and Roll Express ever get fucking booed like that. Ever. Ever.
And this is Anderson and Benoit. It's not even Flair.
Dude, it's Arn though. Arn's an OG Horseman. That shit runs deep there,
Yep.
And isn't that sad that there's a generation of kids that it won't, they might watch the tapes or something, but they didn't get to. The Four Horsemen in the 80s was something. That was
Yeah.
And even this iteration, like they had they rotated way too many people in and out of it.
Yep.
But this, when they had Benoit, even Mongo was the kind of the drizzling shits, but I liked him as like the tough guy because Arn was kind of on his way out at this point. And Flair, had another 17 years left in him. God love him. But
did you see that shot of him working out
Mm-mm.
recently? Dude, he looks incredible from being in the hospital, and now he's fucking. I'll see if I can find it. I have friends sending it to me.
I liked, I was more of a Midnight Express fan because I like the heels. But yeah, the Rock and Roll Express were like huge freaking baby faces. Yeah, so to hear them get booed was just like, holy shit.
Yeah. Wow.
I got it.
Like you said, that shit runs deep.
It does, man. The
Carolina's
Horsemen, that's
beast.
Horseman country for real.
North Kakalaki. So the end of this match,
I'm sharing the screen, Tom.
cool. Real quick, the end of this match, Mongo McMichael throws in the Halliburton briefcase. Damn.
Right? Oh, look at this guy.
Look at Flair. Jesus.
He's ready to get back in the ring.
Hell yeah.
Motherfucker got some chicken legs on him though.
Yeah,
But
because
Of
he
course
was
he does.
never really like ripped. He was,
he was
Yeah.
kind of thick.
Right.
So,
That's
Steve
crazy.
Mongo McMichael, he tosses the Halliburton briefcase into the ring. One of the Rock and Roll, I believe it's Gibson.
It was Gibson.
Yeah, Robert Gibson gets blasted with the Halliburton briefcase. Arn Anderson DDTs Morton, and Benoit covers Gibson for the 1-2-3. Then for no reason at all whatsoever, Joe Gomez runs into the ring to defend the Rock and Roll Express and gets the shit kicked out of him, gets slapped up with the briefcase. They hold Gomez down, and Steve Mongo McMichael's slapping him around like a bitch. And then Randy Savage and Kevin Green run in. Too late to get their hands on him, but they clear the ring of the heels.
I had to come back and defend Joe Gomez, brother.
I didn't
gotta take care of him.
I didn't even know Kevin Green was still around.
I know. There's no fucking point to him being around anymore. It's like, do you really want a rivalry between Mongo, who's green as fuck, and Kevin Green, who's just dumb?
Yeah.
No.
What was interesting? Yeah. What was interesting about the next part, and this is something, you'd have to look back in hindsight to really notice, but Flair's in the back looking at the top of his game. Not quite ripped like that picture, but he's standing there. He's got his green gear on. He's got Deborah. He's got Liz. He's got Woman. I mean, he looks like a pimp. And Woman, looking as beautiful as ever, is like staring into the camera the entire time. But then here come Arn and Chris Benoit. And this is around the time they're hanging out a lot, Woman and Benoit. If she hasn't already, I'm sure that she's already had an affair with Chris. I'm not quite sure when she leaves Kevin Sullivan. And this is like backstage shit, But oh my God, if you go back and watch this, you guys, look at how Woman is looking at Chris Benoit. And then she catches herself and looks away, and then her gaze goes back to him. Like, she's fallen hard for this guy. And it won't be the first time.
Damn.
Yeah.
Shots fired.
Chris Benoit's like, hey, family game night. Let's play Hangman.
Wow.
Too soon.
So, yeah, they just talk shit, and Ric Flair saying Mongo's legit, and he's just building up the Horsemen. So then,
do you think they would have had a fighting chance if he did the flying headbutt instead of strangling them in their sleep?
If they would have had to roll out the way.
Yeah, just roll.
It sucked, because I'm just looking at her, and she is such a beautiful woman, and she seems like she's not very stuck up. Like, she probably had a good upbringing.
Yep. She was gorgeous.
Yeah. God, just beautiful. So, speaking of people coming into their own, and DDP, he's really been kind of impressing me lately. They kind of underplayed him a little bit in his feud with Johnny B. Bad and the Diamond Doll, or whatever her name is, Kimberly.
The booty babe?
Yeah, the booty babe. I kept thinking, I think it's something with a B, but yeah, now she's the booty babe, and you don't even see her. It's funny, Hogan's gone, and that means Brutus the Barber Beefcake is gone. So, DDP, who's been impressing me lately, he's the Lord of the Ring, and he puts his ring up again in another match versus Alex Wright, which ends obviously in a diamond cutter. Gene Okerlund goes over. Paige says that he feels like WCW's trying to hold him down by putting him in a taped fist match against Jim Duggan with his Lord of the Ring on the line at Bash at the Beach, which just, that just so happens to be Duggan's specialty match. So he's got the advantage here. So yeah, they're going to be wrestling at Bash at the Beach. Right after I see DDP's coming into his own, I announce he's fucking wrestling Hacksaw at a pay-per-view. It was different in 1996, guys.
It was a different time, kids.
Yeah. So we get Randy Savage with Kevin Green defeating VK Wall Street. And it's funny, too, like, VK Wall Street was kicking the shit out of Randy Savage for a little while here, and he had to get help from Kevin Green to finally keep VK Wall Street down. Basically, when the ref wasn't looking, VK Wall Street got knocked to the outside, and Kevin Green tosses him into the ring post and then tosses him back into the ring. And then now he's laid out for Randy Savage to hit the elbow drop. And Randy had been getting his ass kicked before then. Like, come on, guys. Like, I know he's the baby face and the underdog, but it's fucking VK Wall Street.
Hey, don't short sell Mike Rotundo of the Varsity Club.
I am. compared to Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh
I
yeah, absolutely. Macho Man, and that was the thing. Like at that point when Macho came to WCW, he was just on commentary in WWE. Vince was like, "No, you're done in the ring," and no, he had gas left in the tank, man. And this was the first time in a long time he's wrestled without the arm taped up too.
Yeah.
Because of that torn tricep he had, or
he
separated
had a few
tricep.
Weeks off too, though, because he was too crazy to let in the building. So
yep,
I'm sure part of that was so he could kind of heal up.
Yep. Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. So next we get our main event of the evening, the triangle match for the WCW World Tag Team Championship. You get your champions Sting and Lex Luger, who they still haven't paid off their angle, versus the Steiner Brothers versus Harlem Heat. Booker shown. Yeah. Is that Sherry, the Booker T? Because Sherry should be showing up soon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like she should be back. She left a little while. I don't know. Anyway, he was talking to someone on his fucking brick cell phone. Interesting match. Luger basically power slams Booker T. He calls for the torture rack. Meanwhile, Scott Hall and Kevin Nash make their way out to the ring through the audience, and they've got aluminum baseball bats. A whole bunch of Charlotte police officers, including Alex Hutchins, ran into the ring. And it's showing a close up, like they've all got their hands on their pistols, getting ready to pull them out. While this malarkey's going on, which is obviously a DQ, you have police officers in the fucking ring holding their guns.
Yep.
But while that happens, and obviously everyone's staring at what's about to happen, Booker T rolls up Lex Luger, and for some reason the ref counts it.
Yep.
And the tag team championships go to Harlem Heat, even though there's people touching guns in the fucking ring.
There's like 6-8 cops in the ring.
Like half the ring is taken up. Like,
can you imagine them doing that angle today with cops coming into the ring with their hands on their guns, ready to draw on these invaders, like with baseball bats outside the ring?
Well, then every white wrestler would be in so much trouble.
It should be the New Day.
It's like, okay, you get Kevin Nash and Scott Hall come through the audience with their aluminum baseball bats. Meanwhile, Bobby Lashley and New Day are in the ring doing what they're supposed to do. Yeah. So here comes the cops, and they jump in the ring and start aiming at, New Day instead of the people who just came through the crowd with the baseball bat.
Hey, look, bud. They're the cause of the problems. Get them. They were just at Target.
What's the little one's name who banged Paige? What the hell's his name again?
Xavier Woods.
Xavier Woods, yeah. He'd be the one high on fentanyl running around.
Yep.
I can't breathe.
I just gave Paige a bunny shot, baby.
They throw pancakes at or the bee cakes or whatever.
Like that shouldn't have. I've seen title matches get, decisions get reversed for way less than what we saw tonight. But WCW has some funny rules sometimes. Sometimes you can, it depends. Like the referee saw what Kevin Green did in Macho Man's match, and he just yelled at him not to do it again. Like he just hit the guy in the head with the fucking ring post. You're not going to DQ him. Yeah.
Hey, don't do that anymore.
Yeah. So
No. You
Bad
stop
Brian.
that. Bad Brian. That's a bad Brian.
So that, it was, that being said, I know I'm complaining about the ending, but I'm just kind of being, literal too. That was a very electric ending to Nitro because you're like, what's going to happen? You had Nash and Hall standing there with their bats staring down at Sting, Luger. Yeah, it was pretty exciting to see. So, even though it didn't make much sense, it was fun to watch going off the air and stuff. So, next we have the week of July 1st, 1996. Again, we're in that stretch where WCW is going to keep winning. So, Raw's down 0.1 rating points from this week before, 2.6. Nitro stays the same at a 3.3. So, obviously, some of those fans went somewhere. Raw comes to you again from Green Bay, Wisconsin, the Brown County Expo, which they would never announce they were there on Raw. These, like, if they're somewhere they don't want to be, they'll just welcome to Monday Night Raw. But if they're in Madison Square Garden, they're going to remind you 100 times where they're at.
Of course.
Now, Green Bay, I'm not saying they wouldn't say we're not in Green Bay, but the Brown County Expo, I can already see Vince like, well, don't say the auditorium name. So, we start off, Vince McMahon and Lawler are in commentary, and we get a non-title match, WWF champion Shawn Michaels with Jose Lothario versus Marty Jannetty with Leif Cassidy and Jim Cornette. So, kind of a bit of history here, old partners going at it. Of course, this ends how real life did with Marty Jannetty on his back and Shawn Michaels standing victorious. Sweet chin music, nothing too special, Yeah, Marty Jannetty, just, I used to wonder about him because I hadn't seen a lot of his work, but he just doesn't have that same it factor that Shawn had.
That's about every tag team is like that. Seriously, very rarely do both stars shine equally.
Yeah,
it's and you could tell right from the beginning that Michaels was the literal golden boy of that tag team. Like,
compared to the Steiners, I figured Rick was the one that was more over, but when they broke up, Scott fucking took off.
Rick couldn't cut a promo.
Nope.
Scott, as unintelligible as he was at times, was over as fuck anyway. It worked for him, that crazy ass gimmick. So
that's why I wanted to see Brian Pillman, ascend to that next level, because him and Austin used to be a tag team, and I think they both would have been huge. Like Triple H would have been politicking his way to get past Brian Pillman to become the number one heel. Like,
because there's something too about like that raspy voice that he had, just that and that crazy smile, the shit that he would do, he didn't care. Yeah, man, that guy, he would have went to another level, especially with the Attitude Era.
He brought his gimmick was kind of like unlike any others. It was very original, and that's back to what Bret Hart said about Triple H. Okay, he can get into the ring and he can perform the moves, and he can even perform them really well. He's got the look, he's got the physique, but like, what has he done? What has he done? And that's Brian Pillman. He innovated things.
Yep.
So yeah, I think he would have been really great. It just sucks, man. Don't do drugs, or if you do, don't drive your fucking Jeep while you're on them.
Drugs are bad, I'm good. You wouldn't like it. Somebody came into your house, took a big old dookie right in your urinal now, would you?
No, Woodsy Owl, okay? I'll be good, okay? I won't pollute. I'll give a hoot, okay? Don't touch me there, Woodsy Owl, okay?
We get a clip of a house show. And this kind of goes along. Sonny's been toying with Phineas Godwin's heart lately. So at this house show, Sonny professed her undying love for Phineas Godwin. And they're in the middle of the ring, and everyone's shocked. Even the smoking guns are out of the ring, like, standing out by the apron, like, what the fuck? She asked Phineas, she's like, I told you how I feel. How do you feel about me? And Phineas is shy, and she's like, I need to hear it, Phineas, please. And giving him those puppy dog eyes. And Phineas finally says, I love you. And she's like, close your eyes and pucker up. So he does, and she slaps him across the fucking face. and says that he's a disgusting, pig-brained, hillbilly hog farmer that she couldn't possibly care about. And then the guns run in, start kicking Phineas's ass, but Henry Godwin and Hillbilly Jim make the save, kick the smoking guns out of there, and then they corner Sunny, and she runs out of the ring, and now she's kind of stuck on the ring steps. And Phineas takes the slop bucket, goes to pour it over her, but he loves her, and he can't. He just can't do it. So Hillbilly Jim and Henry Godwin are like, come on, do it. And he's just, I can't. And Sonny just gets full of pride again and starts talking shit to Henry Godwin, then blows Phineas a kiss, and he fucking pours the slop all over her, all chunky, and she's all slipping on the ring steps and crying. And
never mind.
Yeah.
You were gonna say something about a whore.
Yeah, it was a joke about, sex workers or toys, but anyway.
Like, I talk shit.
Dolph Ziggler was somewhere masturbating furiously.
Etep was just having memories of some of the ring rats he used to take in the back.
I'm just saying, who would you rather have? Like Amy Schumer, a little younger than she is now, or older Sonny?
Wait, can we?
Like,
are we talking? Are we talking like Amy Schumer, like when she first debuted doing stand up?
Yeah, around then. I know it was in her younger career, but like, all I'm saying is at least Sonny at one point looked good. Like, you're still banging that. She just, has.
Well, here's what the problem was. Sonny is just loaded with STDs, and the other one's just a disgusting, gross man big pair.
Yeah, but you'll be forever connected. Your DNA forever intertwined with Amy Schumer.
You know what? I'm.
Etep's like, I'll jump out the window.
What if you find out Amy Schumer has something? Like, wouldn't you rather catch something from Sonny? Like, maybe it was Bret Hart's first,
Well, gun to the head, Sonny.
Yeah.
I think Etep is getting a Valentine's basket filled with Ben Gay and Ensure and some Geritol, and he's going to go see Sonny.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I definitely need, not penicillin though, because I'm allergic to it, but anything else we'll take.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm going with Sonny. I just can't with it. At least Sonny was entertaining.
I can at least close my eyes and remember the Sonny that we all know.
Yeah.
Yep.
So now we know that Angelous Draven is going to show up with edible undies for her.
Oh, God.
Steak flavored.
Dude, you could have said you could have been like ham sandwich or Amy Schumer, and it'd be ham sandwich.
You know what? On the ride over, the only song Angelus is going to hear is "We Got the Meats."
Dun 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 dun.
He goes, it looks like somebody toasted it and threw it against the wall.
Sonny's a narcissist, okay? They're both narcissists, but I mean, would you rather look up and see different pictures of Amy Schumer, or would you rather see Sonny's glamour shot from 1991?
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
And again, at least she was entertaining. Like, when she would get on the mic, she could be a total bitch, but she was good at it,
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of total bitches,
The other one's just like, Kermie, where have you been?
Exactly. And it's like, sorry, that frog's gay. You ain't getting it.
Exactly.
He drank so much water.
He was out behind the pizza parlor.
He drank more than water.
Hey, Johnny, take the garbage out. Maron, there's a fucking frog back here blowing some dude. What am I supposed to do back here?
Sorry about that.
Just don't slip on the pie tins.
It's like it's bald and it's got this fake dye in its beard. It's disgusting. Somebody kill it with fire.
Its campaign just got canceled.
It's grooming tadpoles. It's just disgusting.
Holy shit.
Shots fired.
Mankind,
The Gatling gun.
Closed.
Mankind wrestles Duke the Dumpster Drossy. Yeah, it goes about 4 minutes, ending in the mandible claws. Y'all can assume, but the real entertainment here was Jake the Snake coming down to commentary, and Lawler just talking shit to him the whole time. Oh, is that going to make you take a shot, Jake? Do you need a sip? Like, just bagging on Jake over his addictions, and calling him out as a fake Christian, basically. So then after the match, Lawler calls Jake a hypocrite, and tells him turn the other cheek at this, and slaps Jake across the face. Then Jake gets up and goes to choke Lawler, but Mankind comes over and fucking latches the mandible claw on Jake Roberts. And I believe they're wrestling at this Next in Your House, Mankind and Jake Roberts. But yeah, as they're carrying Jake away, Lawler's yelling, last call, last call. So the whole match, he was bagging on Jake over that interview and just everything.
See, I always hated whenever they did shit like that.
Yeah.
Take the real life problems and try to put it in the ring like that, especially substance abuse issues, what that guy's been through. And fucking McMahon knew how much that guy was, what he was going through.
And would continue to go through after this.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Like, it's not even like, well, at least it was over. It's like he was like in the depths of it at this point.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause he didn't last that much longer for the axe.
Yeah. Like 2 years from now, he'd be on Beyond the Mat, cracked the fuck out.
Yeah, standing up as his daughter was trying to meet up with him and shit.
And why didn't he have a relationship with his daughter? Because Vince had him on the road all the time.
Yep. That shit was heartbreaking. He used to he took a booking for crack before. Like
Yeah. I know. If they didn't have crack, he wasn't showing up.
Yep.
So we get Mark Wildman Mero with Sable versus Goldust with Marlena. I think I need to look more into this, but Mark Mero's disappointed Vince somehow, because from what I remember, he took his first loss at the King of the Ring against Steve Austin, which, you know, okay, you kind of got to do that if you plan on Steve winning. But now he loses to Goldust, you know, and it's like, yeah, he's trying to push Goldust, but he's trying to push Mark Mero too, and
yeah, he was trying to push him into his mouth.
He more Goldust more or less. There's a slight distraction. Marlena blows cigar smoke in Sable's face. That makes Mero turn around, and Goldust hits him with the curtain call. But Austin and Mero are going to start beefing now, I believe. Austin is on commentary during this match. And he calls Mero stupid. He talks shit to Vince. Like, he tells Vince, and this is the main event of the night, by the way. He tells Vince a couple times he'll punch him in the mouth. And, you know, he's really, we're really starting to get to hear Stone Cold talk. And this is the night after King of the Ring is. No. It's the week after. Either way, we're hearing Austin talk more. Ted DiBiase is gone, and we're starting to see that Stone Cold personality come out. Yeah, that's what really made this match fun, was listening to Austin on commentary, because I don't care that much about Mark Mero or Goldust. Like, I respect his lineage, and I like Dustin Runnels, but I was never been a fan of the Goldust character.
Nope.
Just because you can't take it serious, you know?
Yeah.
Like, when it comes down to a title match or whatever, it's just too much of a joke. So, what do we have here? Thank you to the chat for sticking with me. I'm over on the other screen, so I can't always get to your messages, but I know Parrot Head saying something is biscuit and gravy. Oh, okay. Sonny's edible panties. Yes, biscuits and gravy flavored.
When he said steak, I was like, "Ooh, with extra Worcestershire sauce."
Oh God!
And then Superfan Adam Shawhan says tube steak smothered in underwear. Yes, sir.
Well, since Angelous is a vampire, does he only go when it's red?
No, that's where I draw the line there, buddy.
He's like, that's the only time I'm not drinking blood.
Yeah, exactly.
Look here, I'm going to suck you. No, I'm not.
No.
He took
Why
a
does it
U-turn,
smell like
man.
a dead cat in here?
He's like, I'm taking a left at Albuquerque.
Is this Sonny or Stephanie McMahon?
So, and good night, Gap Stargate. I'm sorry I missed you, but thank you for tuning in tonight. Good times. Yeah, so next up, let's go through this Nitro, and then we're gonna go through Bash at the Beach 96 real quick, because this is the go home show. They're in Landover, Maryland. WCW is at the US Air Arena. And were there any dark matches on this one, Etep?
Why, it's great that you ask, because yes, there was. This dark match was refereed by Bruno Sammartino and saw Ratchet Man Randy Savage, Macho Man Randy Savage, defeat Ric Flair, the Nature Boy.
Well, that's just a car.
Wonderful.
That was a dark match?
That was a dark match.
Wow.
It's leading into it's going into Bash the Beach. There and you've got Flair with Woman, and in Elizabeth and Savage's money, and they're spending it like water. So yeah, this feud's been going. It's the dark match. It's a nice way to keep that feud going, even if you don't have space for it on TV at this point.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But even with Bruno Sammartino, I mean, you got stuff going on. These are some big names there. That's crazy.
Oh God!
I don't know. After everything we were talking about Sonny earlier, I know you said dark match, but for some reason, dark snatch popped into my head. Sorry about that.
I think you're thinking of Jacqueline, but
oh, Miss Texas putting in work in them showers.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
So tonight we get the triumphant return of Eric Bischoff, but for the first hour it is Tony Schiavone and Larry Zbyszko. DDP comes over to the announce booth and cries about somebody stealing his Lord of the Ring ring. He said to lock the doors, strip search everybody. Yes, even you, Grandma. And then we go into 2/3 of a rematch from last week. The WCW World Tag Team Champions, Harlem Heat versus the Steiner Brothers. And yeah, this ends with
Colonel.
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah, the Colonel Parker.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah. Either way, Booker T.
He hits Ricky with the cane. I believe it was Ricky. He hit one of them with the cane, and Booker rolled him up.
And see, that's why I was wondering if Booker was on the phone with Sherry, because didn't Sherry last time we saw her, she left with Colonel Parker?
Yeah, but then they were talking about on commentary about him talking to Parker on the cell phone and calling him. I don't know. It might have been Sherry though, because I know she comes back. So, and I think she manages Harlem Heat again.
Yeah.
So yeah, it could have been her too. And this whole show, they really they put over the whole New World Order thing like heavy. Was it Zbyszko kept mentioning that?
See here, she actually, and see, I didn't see the Bash at the Beach pre-show. She returns at the pre-show to help them out. So
okay, I didn't see the pre-show. I just wrapped it up before we started. I didn't see the pre-show though.
Yeah,
so I was kind of skipping through it.
Yeah. So Gene Okerlund finds himself immersed within the Four Horsemen and the ladies. They talk trash about the Rock and Roll Express, because tonight, this would have been the perfect match for Charlotte, North Carolina. I don't know why they didn't have this match last week. Tonight is an 8-man tag match with all Four Horsemen in action versus the Rock and Roll Express, Joe Gomez, and Renegade. Wouldn't that have made more sense in North Carolina? Like, the fans would have ate that shit up.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, because you would have got who Joe fucking Gomez in the main event again on Nitro. Like what?
Yeah.
Like him and the Renegade. God rest his soul. Um,
They've got beef for Gomez running into the ring for absolutely no reason last week other than to get hit with
Yeah.
a briefcase.
After they got their asses whipped backstage before that tag match that Luger and Sting. Yeah, who do you want to see in the main event for the tag against Anderson and Flair, kids? Luger and Sting or Joe Gomez and the fucking Renegade? Yeah, and I don't mean to undersell, or shortchange the undercard guys, but they didn't, I know they were probably trying them out, but I mean these two didn't have a look. I mean they didn't have any charisma.
I don't get it. Like, this is your chance. Think of something.
Yeah, they came out with basically like the most vanilla fucking gimmicks and did nothing. Did fucking nothing with it at all.
It's insane. Like, you're on Turner broadcast television, fucking in front of millions of people. Think of something. Like, even Hacksaw's fucking rolling his fist up with tape. Like, do something.
Right.
Get your shit over. Get your shit over.
Get a little coke in that rap.
Yeah, well, maybe they should be doing some coke. Like, turn up the energy level, motherfuckers. Like, this is your chance. And instead, you're just going to Joe Gomez it. Like, it's insane. So, and like, we want to talk shit about Disco Inferno. At least he's doing something,
Dude, I'm gonna say something. I like Disco Inferno. I respected him.
Yeah, I like him all right.
He popped the fucking crowd every time he came out, whether it was booing or cheering, because there was times where they were behind him. He always got the crowd going. That's why he was a great opener. To like a TV champion. Like I think he held the TV title at one point.
Yeah.
One point or another, he did. Maybe a couple times, but he was good in that role, and that's where guys like him. And that's no slight to them because everybody has their place in the hierarchy. That's where guys like him belong because they can carve a niche there.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like, honestly, and well, I won't say they needed more discos on the undercard because they had some great luchas, but
the luchadors,
you want a disco on your undercard. You want somebody who, they're gonna get the crowd woken up at the beginning of the night or maybe after a long match, and you want to throw a little something in there to just buffer. The disco's perfect for that.
Yep.
So and speaking of Disco, he goes against Kurosawa. A disco ball's lowered in the ring, and Disco whacked Kurosawa.
Putting him over on Kurosawa, because Kurosawa's a great fucking worker. That guy is like a legend. They should have done it a little bit different. That was a really wonky fucking finish to that match.
The gold record he almost hit Malenko with last week. He should have used that with glass and like.
Yep.
Yeah. So, Disco's now officially the number one contender. He's going against Malenko at the pay-per-view coming up in 6 days. Next we get DDP versus Scotty Riggs. I think we all know how this went. Diamond Cutter 1, 2, 3. And on to Bash at the Beach where DDP's going to face Jim Duggan. Gene Okerlund stops Page and tells him he has a good idea where his ring is. He doesn't say, but he's implying that Duggan has it. Page doesn't understand and tries to frisk Gene. Yeah. Weird.
I wonder how much money Mean Gene spent on suits, because you figure they were on the road a lot, and he was wearing a different suit like almost every week. That you're figuring two shows a week.
I'd say probably less than what he spent on whores.
Gene liked the hookers, I'm sure.
Oh, tutti frutti!
Hey, when are we going to Vegas?
I was not at the... No,
I was at the club last night in Miami. I saw Ric Flair out there with a bevy of beauties in the ring, or in the club, and then I saw Conan doing lines with Eddie Guerrero at the bar. Chris Benoit was choking a hooker. Kevin Sullivan was masturbating and crying softly in the corner. But you can hear more on the hotline. Kids, get your parents' permission.
I feel like Gene was VIP status. Like, I feel like he never had money issues. He worked for many years in the business. Yet that didn't stop him from going out to the club. He'd drink all night for free. Everyone wants to buy him some. The hookers want to give him a spot. Like,
well, that's
how
what I
can you
heard anyway.
charge that, man?
Yeah, I heard he was always down there in the scene.
Yeah, but he didn't have money problems like everyone else. So I think I think he was smoother than the Horseman. You know, he just yeah. Dude was a pimp. All Mean Gene.
He did it smart. He didn't have to flaunt it.
All that hotline money.
Yep. That's fucking $4.99 a minute or whatever. I mean, shit. That was more than Miss Cleo. Mean Gene. Call me now for your free Bumbaclot reading.
Was that was it really all him? They didn't get a cut of it?
No, they did. They did.
Okay.
Yeah. So next we get Macho Man Randy Savage versus Vince Neil. I mean Greg Valentine.
Jesus.
Seen better days.
Oof, he was rough in that match.
He looked like Dewdrop. He looked like that Dewdrop chick at the Royal Rumble who wrestled Becky Lynch. Yeah.
Dewdrop.
He still looked better than Amy Schumer. Still does.
Yeah.
She looks like a melted, fat, bloated pig.
Yeah.
You know, like when they fish those bodies out of the river after a week?
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Too accurate. Sorry.
So no Kevin Green this week with Randy Savage. So he's going to have to, after
That's
he barely held on against VK Wall Street last week, now he's going to have to go after, hold his own against the Hammer, but he hits the macho elbow for the 1-2-3. And yeah, we go into hour number 2 and Eric Bischoff is back. He says to the outsiders, who are you trying to scare? Nobody's afraid of you. Bobby Heenan's acting all sketchy, and he's like, calm down. We've got enough security in the around us that I could line your your pockets with gold, and nobody's going to mess with you. But then there's a commotion in the crowd, and we see Scott Hall and Kevin Nash making their way down. Security tries to stop him, and they've got their popcorn and soda, but they've also got tickets to the show. So they sit in their seats. There's not, they're just here to have a good time. Then we get another Glacier promo before WCW World Heavyweight Champion, The Giant, with Jimmy Hart. He goes against John Tenta again. They wrestle. I believe it's a non-title match. Maybe the title's on the line. But Tenta actually got some offense and drop kicked the Giant off of his feet in this match. But Bubba makes his way down to ringside with some clippers. While that's going on, Tenta gets choke slammed. Giant covers him 1-2-3. And then the Dungeon of Doom basically go into the ring. Now they shaved half of his head a couple weeks ago. Now they shaved half of his face and the other half of his face. Yeah.
Wow.
So leave him laying. And yeah, Bubba basically hypes up his match against John Tenta at Bash at the Beach. So we get a Rey Mysterio highlight video, but it's interrupted by Hall and Nash somehow just sitting in the ring or sitting in the front row with their popcorn and their soda and their tickets. Somehow they got a hold of microphones.
I remember this,
Yeah. So they start talking shit and make their way. Nash even dropped an F-bomb.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys heard that, but like I'm seeing it in the results I'm reading here, but I was watching it like, did he just... Yeah, he did. Yeah. So they basically talk crap and they get all the way towards the entrance ramp, and Sting and Lex and Macho Man come out. Uh, and they kind of go at it. Macho Man starts running after the Outsiders as they start making their way backstage with security. Kevin Nash is chanting Attica, Attica as he's headed to the back. And yeah, it was exciting, more than I could do it justice, but it was fun to see. They're hyping up this match pretty well. So Gene Okerlund's backstage with Jim Duggan. And Duggan, it was so weird. He was like, I had to go to the bathroom. It's like, huh? But yeah, Duggan had to go to the bathroom. And he
Duggan and Weird go hand in hand.
Yeah. He finds DDP's ring in the bathroom. So DDP runs in there, accuses Duggan of being a thief, and then Duggan tosses the ring at him, tapes his fist up, and hits Page. Knocks him out, at least momentarily. And then we go into the main event. It's the Four Horsemen versus the Rock and Roll Express, Joe Gomez and Renegade. That ends when Ric Flair puts the figure 4 on Renegade, and he taps out like right away. So Gene Okerlund talks to the Horsemen. Mongo declares the Horsemen will win at any level. Benoit and Arn tell it. Actually, no, Benoit didn't even say this. Arn said that he told you guys once the Four Horsemen were back together and once they were at full force, heads were going to roll, so you better start taking a body count. Ric Flair promises to regain the U.S. title whether Conan likes it or not. He'll be facing Conan at the pay-per-view, which is kind of out of place, isn't it? Like, there's no hype for that match whatsoever going into this.
That one came out of nowhere. Conan and Flair. There was no build. It was just, hey, all of a sudden Flair wants the U.S. title because we got other things going on with the world title.
Because he's got to be on the pay-per-view. Flair does.
Yep.
And, yeah. So, yeah, that's basically the end of the, woman dances with Flair a little bit after molesting Mean Gene. We go over to the commentators. They hype the pay-per-view a bit, but they heard something in the back. They get cameras back there, and it's basically Nash and Hall getting escorted to their sports car, and they drive off. And that's how Nitro ends, with them leaving the arena. Everyone's all hyped up for this pay-per-view now. The whatever match. The fight for control match or whatever.
The hostile takeover.
The hostile takeover, yeah. So, I still don't think they've even referred to them as Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. They've just, the Outsiders.
The Outsiders. That's what they called them. Up until
I
the
think they even said, well, we, everybody knows who you guys are. And they use language like that because they weren't even using actual names yet at that point.
Yeah, Hall. You know who I am, but you don't know why I'm here. That. Yeah, that man.
Beer money.
Yeah, beer money. Some smack. I don't know, Scott. You tell me. Man, he got in trouble because he was banging one of the network executives, like niece or something like that.
Scott
at one
Hall.
point. Yeah. One of the she worked for. I can't remember if she worked for WCW or TNT, but she was related to like a network executive, and that was like one of the reasons why he got taken off TV at one point. But yeah, that's my man. That's my favorite right there. I love Scott. I don't even care.
See if I can find that.
Yeah, there was fuck. It was on like a behind the scenes thing I was watching. They were talking about it. I was like, holy shit, that's insane. It was probably like 6 months ago I watched that. But yeah, so we're gonna go into Bash the Beach next? Or do we, right?
Yeah, we're gonna go into
Okay. because there is a dark match at Bash at the Beach, and I'm so excited to talk about this dark match.
What was the dark match, sir?
All right, so the dark match was, in a stunning turn of events, Jim Powers wins at a pay-per-view against Hugh Morris in 4 minutes and 23 seconds. Big ups to Jimmy Powers, one of my favorite jobbers, because I liked him and Paul Roma as a tag team. They were just like the lovable losers. So yeah, Jimmy went over on Hugh Morris, Bill DeMott, who got fired for being too tough on the girls. I think it was backstage at the training center. So yeah, big shout out to Jim Powers for winning the dark match at Bash the Beach 1996, one of the most famous pay-per-views in wrestling history. This is at the Ocean Center in Daytona Beach, Florida, July 7th, 1996. 8,300 in attendance. This was preceded by the previous pay-per-view was the Great American Bash. And yeah, there you go, Tony. I've introed you.
Thank you. Even the fucking commentators are like, oh, when these two go at it at the Great American Bash at the Beach, like, why would you put two Bash pay-per-views back to back? It's so...
It's wonky. It's clunky. It doesn't sound right together.
Yeah. So, yeah, it officially starts. The commentators are Tony Schiavone, Bobby Heenan, and Dusty Rhodes. They kind of hype up the match later on. The third man on the Outsiders team is yet to be revealed. Also, where's Eric Bischoff? What has happened to him? We go to the ring. We get Psychosis versus Rey Mysterio. It's exactly what you think it. I mean, just a spectacular match. Yeah, it's some really cool moves. I mean, totally hold up today. I mean, it's even with a lot of people doing these and it becoming more mainstream, nobody did it quite like these luchas at this point in time. So Rey Mysterio would go over on a Psychosis.
I was pissed. I respect Ray, but I never liked Ray. I always thought, like, when I watched, because I watched these two go at it in ECW, which is, you know, how they came to be with Bischoff in WCW, was by way, you know, Paulie brought him in, and, you know, Bischoff threw the money at him and said, hey, come up here. Yeah. So I loved Psychosis. I always thought, I was like, man, this dude should be going over on Ray. You know, Ray, yeah, I get the appeal. You know, the perennial underdog. You know, because he's 5'0". But yes, these two they had some freaking legendary matches. Still, one of the best spots I've ever seen is the like the Frankensteiner, almost Hurricane Rana takeover into a pin from Ray off the balcony on a Psychosis in ECW at a pay-per-view.
Yeah. Yeah, and the stuff they did was just not just innovative, but just kind of insane too.
Oh yeah, it was transcendent, man. It was a transcendent style and time for that in the business. It was great. It was honestly awesome to be able to have seen that. You know. Yes.
So next we get Gene Okerlund. He's backstage with Conan, and Conan talks about the match we just saw a little bit. And then he says he's been at a disadvantage because he hasn't had time to form alliances in WCW, but he's still going to beat Ric Flair tonight and retain the U.S. Championship. Then we go to Big Bubba versus John Tenta. Compared to the last match, it's Big Bubba versus John Tenta. Yeah, and Tenta lays Bubba out with the sock full of coins that Big Bubba was planning to use on John Tenta. And yeah, John Tenta gets his revenge, even though he's shaved like a fucking baby now.
Did you get the Bobby Walker versus Billy Kidman match?
I might have missed that one.
Yeah, you got Bobby Walker goes over on Billy Kidman in 2 minutes.
Jesus.
2 minutes. And we had the tag championships. Did you get that one?
Not
let me
yet.
let me drop you my link for the card. I don't know. It seems like it said. I was like, "Is yours?" I don't know what you're reading it off of. I didn't know if it was out of order or you missed a match, but I just dropped it there for you in the private chat. Because I just watched the show and I'm pretty sure I was like, yeah, there's like a couple of masters. Like you had Rock and Roll Express versus Fire and Ice too.
Oh,
Which
okay, this is from Fandom. See, I don't know if I saw these matches on mine. Anyway, okay, so yeah, Bobby Walker defeats Billy Kidman. The Rock and Roll Express defeat Fire and Ice. Eddie Guerrero defeats Lord Steven Regal. Okay, so those are all dark matches.
See, they're not listed. Yeah, are they listed as dark matches?
It says dark match and has Jim Powers, and then it goes
Yeah,
all the way.
Yeah, that was the only dark match. The rest of them were main card matches. Guerrero and Regal had a good match. It was too quick though.
I don't know. I guess I missed those then. Okay, so yeah, those are all done. Backed over here on my results. Jeez. Let me find my spot again. Okay, so Big Bubba wins. DDP and Hacksaw Jim Duggan go at it in the tape fist match. And it's a match for the Lord of the Ring ring. DDP goes over on Hacksaw, thankfully. Page hits the Diamond Cutter, and yeah, never got his title match that he should have had at Slamboree. That went to Lex Luger. I still think DDP, even at this point in his career, would have been far more exciting. We get a backstage interview with Taskmaster and the Giant. Taskmaster says he wasn't worried about the Four Horsemen, thinking he was the weak link of the Dungeon of Doom. Giant said the same thing. And yeah, they're talking about having the home court advantage. You know, they were in North Carolina a couple weeks ago, but now they're here in Florida. And that's the Dungeon of Doom territory. And it's going to be the best of the Horsemen versus the best of the Dungeon. And yeah, we go to Lee Marshall, who's interviewing Arn Anderson and Chris Benoit. It's before he went out to go to the Nitro parties. We're hitting the
Marshall.
road. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all the hip cats want to hang out with Lee Marshall on Monday night. Hi kids, you got any fucking scotch?
Yeah, like Lee Marshall would always go and start talking to a girl at the club, and then she'd end up leaving with Gene Okerlund after he had showed up for a couple minutes, you know?
They heard Mean Gene sing. They heard him sing.
Yes.
He was tickling the ivories.
Is that what you call it? He's like
That's
that
what the
prostitute. He's like that prostitute's name was Ivory. I didn't know that.
Lisa Moretti sticks her head up. What? Nah, not you, Ivory. We like you.
Oh,
she was always fine. She was always fine as shit. Too.
I like Ivory too.
I thought she was so hot. I did. I couldn't stand her voice, but I thought she was sexy.
Mm-hmm.
Dude.
Okay.
So, yeah, go ahead, bro. Sorry.
Those matches, I'm like, what the fuck? I know I didn't see those matches.
No, they were
on the
dark
pay-per-view.
matches.
They were okay. So Jim Powers and Hugh Morris was a dark match, and then the Steiner brothers, and Harlem Heat, all the way down to Eddie Guerrero and Steven Regal. That was taped for WCW main event.
Yep.
I'm like, what the like? I'm like, I know I started at the beginning of the pay-per-view. It's been tripping me out. So okay,
and having just watched the Steiners and Heat and that not both of them, just one of them. Yeah, in the freaking they were going at it on Nitro in that schmaz, it was like, yeah, it's easy to get confused when you watch like what 5 or 7 hours worth of wrestling today.
Yeah. Yep. So next up, we get Public Enemy versus the Nasty Boys in a 4-man dog collar match, and I wish they would have just like switched Larry Zbyszko taking a shit on someone's sandwich in the back locker room. Like, true story, not Larry Zbyszko though.
Or the Giant
I-
on the was Bad News Brown.
Yeah, the Giant taking a Giant. Like, I'd been perfectly fine with that. But
Sorry,
instead
boss.
Hail Brahma's bullpen. What's up, brother?
What's up, Brahma's bullpen?
Chris
Fisk.
Chris the Fist is in the house. Fucking
Franchise history.
Big Meech is in the house. The fucking
Oh, jeez, man. He's huge.
He's a fucking. I told you, dude. This motherfucker's big, dude.
You should shave half of him and call him Tinto.
Oh, are you trying to get his channel taken down? You're not supposed to show your pussy on screen like that, Etep.
Yeah, Hell Franchise History TV, Steve Mack. Go subscribe. I can pull his link up in a second. It's not in the description, but yeah, that or go search Franchise History TV. He's always dropping videos. He's got a good perspective. He drops pop culture oriented videos and does movie reviews and TV reviews. Hail Frankie knows. It's great to see you.
Hail Frankie.
Hail.
No. Yeah, I was going to say, and Tommy, it's okay. He could do whatever he wants. He could show his pussy if he wants. He's New World Order. He's one of the angels.
Yep. I'm just I put his link in the chat right there for Franchise History. Yeah, I'm just waiting for our new overlords to take over. I've already got the regalia. I'm hoping to start my own state eventually after things calm down from the nuclear winter and all.
Wokuian land.
We're gonna start the Church of Etepology, and we'll have our own currency and whatnot. And
I told this to Red. We got to start our own cult. I mean, religion.
Just as long as it's not called Chaz, you're good.
Yeah, we'll stay away from Chaz. We'll stay away from Chaz, even Chaz Bono. Yeah, that nasty boys in Public Enemy match, and this is the thing that kills me about the Public Enemy is I've seen them put on some fucking just bomb ass matches in ECW.
But I wasn't even a fan of them then. I don't know.
I wasn't a huge fan. I like seeing them get their asses beat, and that happened a lot because everybody hated them. Like seriously, like everybody hated them. Like the Acolytes beat the shit out of them. Like the Acolytes. I mean, do you remember that? They beat them down. Oh my god, that was yeah. They fucking beat that. Was it them in the who the hell was it thumped on ICP? I can't remember who that was, but no, I was down in Hugelo Town last weekend. No, so yeah, seeing this dog collar match with these guys and Nasty Boys. I was never a big Nasty Boys fan either. I didn't give a shit about the Nasty Boys.
That's what I mean. So when they're going at it, and Brian Knobbs is Hogan's boy. That's the only reason they get much love.
Yep. It was like a fight between a bunch of like. White kids that, you know what they call them. I'm not going to say the term, but we all know what I'm talking about. A bunch of M&Ms basically versus a bunch of trailer trash, and they're all white. So it looks and sounds really funny.
Yeah.
That's basically what it was.
It's like the N-word, but with the W.
Basically, yes. That's what it is.
A soft W.
A soft W, and that's what it was, man. It was like, it was, man. It was like two M&Ms, but fat and short. Equally, well, I don't know. They're probably smarter than M&M, though. Let's be honest.
It's bad because it's the Nasty Boys in a program with Public Enemy. Like, if it was Harlem Heat, I could take pleasure in Harlem Heat kicking their asses or something. But it's like, who cares? I don't. The outcome of wrestling as a whole, the sum of everything would have stayed the same if neither of these two teams were ever a thing. If none of these guys ever got involved in wrestling.
No, this wouldn't have changed anything.
Yeah.
They'd be in the back of
I mean-
Walmart wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it. with
Well, they
these
did a lot
guys.
of hardcore matches though, didn't they?
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The
I always liked hardcore matches. So
after after the Nasty Boys broke up, Brian Knobbs was just like he kind of floated aimlessly.
Yeah. Like the
'Cause
Dudley
Sags
Boys
left.
is what both of these teams should have been. Like that's the high end of the spectrum. And they even did hardcore better, in my
Are they
opinion.
both still alive?
they did.
Nasty Boys?
Yeah.
No, I think they're both dead. I know Flyboy Rocco Rock's dead for sure. I'm not sure. Let me check and see if Johnny Grunge is dead. Yeah, Rocco died a while ago. But yeah, he wasn't that old. Let's see. Johnny Grunge is dead.
Yeah.
Wow.
He died in 2006. He was born in 1966. 6'3", 263. Michael Lynn Durham. Yeah.
Damn, dude, he's my age and shit. So
And Rocco, he died, let's see, in 2002. He died 4 years before Johnny, but he was 13 years older than Johnny Grunge. He was
Yeah.
born in 1953. So yeah, both the Public Enemy are dead. There's some fucking some somber fucking shit. Hey, yeah, well, it's like that watching most of these nitros though, and these pay-per-views. It's like, yeah, it's like, oh, these Trey. I have to explain this to him. He's like, oh, what's? It's like, well, he's dead. Oh, what about him? He's dead too. Well, why? I mean, drugs, buddy.
That's why I don't do drugs.
They
'Cause
did a lot of
didn't-
drugs.
They didn't say their prayers and eat their vitamins.
Apparently not.
And now it's the Winstrol, the Tren, and the Dynaball, and now it's not the training, the prayers, and the vitamins anymore.
So we go back to Mean Gene, who has 4 cops with him, and he's to protect him from the outsiders. He said he'd immediately get a lawyer if Scott Hall or Kevin Nash touched him. And then he just talked about not knowing who the third man is, and they're really that's kind of the big angle of this, is who's the third guy, which is kind of stupid. They really give it away before Hogan comes out later on, but we'll get to that when we get there. Next up, we have Vinny's most anticipated match, Disco Inferno, challenging
yeah.
Dean Malenko, for the WCW Cruiserweight Championship. Disco got on the mic before the match and says he knows everyone came to see him dance. Then he promised everyone there'd be a huge disco party after he wins the Cruiserweight title. This ends with the Texas Cloverleaf.
Mm-hmm.
Dean Malenko snapped that fucker on, and Disco tapped out. And
How fast was that match?
It was quick. It was a couple minutes. We're talking. Oh no! They went 12:04. I'm sorry. That was a longer one. Which, I mean, yeah, that for Disco, that's putting in work. Because most of his shit was like 5 to 7s. But
Giovanni called it a Cruiserweight classic. Like we saw Psychosis and Rey Mysterio on this card, dude.
Dean's technically a cruiserweight though.
Yeah.
No, he is.
Yeah.
He's the Cruiserweight champion.
Yeah,
but
yeah, he's a
I
cruiserweight.
don't think Disco's ever been in a Cruiserweight classic.
No, Disco has never been in a match described as a classic in his fucking career. Let's be honest. I mean, some of the later gimmick matches he was in, might be classics for another.
Didn't
reason
him and like
altogether.
the cat fight a couple times?
Oh
I
God,
think
yeah,
so, yeah.
yeah. They went at it. Ernest Miller was fucking awesome. He was so funny. Oh my
Yeah.
God! Somebody better call my mama. He's fucking Ernest.
And then they got freaking James Brown to actually come in once.
Commissioner Cat. Yep,
So-
dude. That's yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh wait, hang on. Are we at the match that should have been the main event?
Tommy's favorite match. The match. It's a toe nibbling match.
Dude, this was like the highlight of the night for me. Never mind the New World Order. Mongo McMichael versus Joe fucking Gomez. Like, oh, that's all Joe Gomez had to do was like call himself Joe fucking Gomez. Like, if he would have started calling himself Joe effing Gomez,
Yeah.
dude, it would have been. He would have had like something. He would have had. Wait, franchise. You just found out Tess died. That motherfucker died like
Yeah.
God, what, like 13, 14 years ago?
Sucks because he should have been more. You know, he could have been more. I won't say he should have been, but
They were pushing him. Like,
Yeah, they
he
were.
got well, dude, he was juiced to the
was-
nines.
They
when
were trying to
moved him
make.
into
I think they were
ECW.
trying to make him out to be more than what he was, though. They were
Yeah.
trying to make him out to be the next Nash, and he was
Mhm.
at that time he was not the next Nash.
yeah, he wasn't ready for the push they gave him.
Yeah.
No.
But it was like I remember them saying that about him. Like he has like the looks of Diesel, but the athleticism of Shawn Michaels. They really
Mhm.
wanted to push him,
Yeah.
or
Where
really
did he-
wanted him to become something.
But you remember what he died from?
Drug overdose. I
He had a
think.
heart attack or something, didn't he?
Wow.
We should.
I
What's his name? Andrew.
Andrew
I just
Martin.
remember him doing the Girls Gone Wild shit, like right before he passed away.
Crash Holly. Stevie
Oxycontin.
Richards found OxyContin.
Yeah. March
Yep.
14th, 2009.
Eh,
33.
Stevie. God damn, he was 33. I thought he was
Holy
38.
shit.
What's his name? Stevie Richards found Crash Holly dead on his fucking condo
Somas.
floor.
Yeah.
Yep, somas and vodka.
Yep.
Yep.
That's insane.
Yeah, man. That's that fucking life, dude. That's that life right there. You bust your ass to get there to the show, and it takes, like I said, it's the most cruel mistress you'll ever have, and it takes more than it gives. Always. Always.
So yeah, we get Joe fucking Gomez and Mongo McMichael, which ends with the horseman taking
A
the-
tombstone.
Yep.
Yeah, Mongo is using the fucking tombstone.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, if I'm sorry, but Joe Gomez needs to be tombstone. So I'm okay
Why
with
was
that.
he, dude? Look at this. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. You're fourth. You're in the fourth spot from the main. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you're Joe fucking Gomez, and you're wrestling Steve McMichael. And honestly, Joe Gomez was probably a better worker than Mongo was, because Mongo is shit. Like,
Yeah,
everything
this is like
he
his third match.
everything he did looked stiff as fuck. You're debuting a guy, basically debuting him fully, because he worked a few they worked a few tag matches, I think, up to this point. They had the Horsemen versus the Idiots
The night
in the Rock and Roll Express.
Yeah, that was his second match in the ring,
Yeah.
so this would have been his third.
Yeah, so you're giving him a pay-per-view for his third match, and this guy can't work to save his life, which is not a good combination. But honestly, this match, Gomez kind of, okay, fat ass, I'll let you out. Gomez put this fucking match, over for Mongo, because he was, he might have, we kind of joke on him, but he was a serviceable enough worker to make Dummy look good. So, I mean, props to him for that, because the jobbers are sometimes the best fucking workers on the card. They just don't have the look,
Yep. And, they debuted the Giant on television like this, but Giant has that size. He's got the, he's more impressive to look at and to see wrestle than Steve Mongo McMichael is. Dude's a big guy, but in the world of wrestling, he's just kind of another guy, So, yeah, he's definitely got some work to do, and he'll continue wrestling. I remember he was coming out in like 1998 still, so he'll be around for a bit. Ric Flair's backstage with Mean Woo by God Gene. And yeah, Woman and Miss Elizabeth are with him. Flair says you can never have enough trophies in his life, and the Four Horsemen are going to win all the gold. So Nature Boy says that Conan is known for having 1,000 holds, but Flair's the most experienced pro wrestler there is. Yeah, bring your best hold to Nature Boys coming your way. Woo. So, yeah, Woman's flirting with Gene Okerlund. He gets to just sit there and have Nancy Benoit rub her fucking hands up and down him several times a week. Like, not a bad gig.
She, dude, yeah, it's funny because she is every fucking promo. She's always up on Gene, like
Yes.
always. I think she had daddy issues.
Do you think Mean Gene also banged Stephanie McMahon?
Yes.
I was gonna make a joke, but it's terribly inappropriate.
And then he didn't tell Vince and had him smell his fingers. And then so many years later, Vince pitches the incest angle because it's in his subconscious, you know?
Oh, shit. Hey, Vince, smell my fingers.
Chris.
Fucked up.
Hey,
God
hey,
damn,
Vince.
that's some good pussy.
I was singing Tutti Frutti. Check this out. It's kind of Rudy. Here you go. That's Bath and Body Works. I buy that for Stephanie. I love that smell.
He walked in after Macho Man was done with her. He's like, "Your turn, brother," and he tagged him in.
Oh, look who it is, Mean Gene. Oh, yeah, Mean Gene. Why don't you come on in and get some of this bang bang sweet poo-tang? Oh, yeah.
He gave one of his bandanas. He's like, "Get in there."
Put this on your head, Mean Gene. Now you're ready to feel the madness.
And his cowboy hat.
Put this on too, Gene. It looks good. Here, have the glasses too.
She'll never know it's you. Oh, shit.
Yeah, so
You're
to
about
call out his 900 number during the middle of it.
Mean Gene Loja.
See, at Christmas, Mean Gene. It's me, Mean Gene Loja.
Stephanie, drink your juice.
Stephanie already drank my juice. Find out more about that on the hotline tonight. Kids, get your parents' permission. I didn't get Stephanie's parents' permission. Oh, Jesus.
They ran a train on her before they went to WCW.
Wow.
Wow.
We're about Stephanie's Bukkake on the hotline.
Oh no.
Sorry, too far.
Oh, so speaking of so we had Flair versus Conan for the U.S. Heavyweight title. That was a 15-minute 39-second match. Like I said, I'm still spellbound that was a match at the pay-per-view though, with no build. I mean, not that it wasn't it was a good match. It really was. At this point, Conan could still work.
It was just out of place compared to like everything else had some kind of, even Joe Gomez had build.
Yep, with Mongo, exactly.
Yeah, but I guess they just, and I'm just gonna spoil the ending now. I guess they just decided they want all the gold on the Horsemen because Conan does get mollywopped with the Hogan Slayer. Woman hits him with a shoe. And then Flair's able to swoop a quick pin in and defeat Conan for the U.S. Heavyweight Championship.
Yep.
So, they go back to Okerlund once again. He was outside of the Outsiders' dressing room. He heard a third man talking, but it was too, like, you couldn't hear Hulk Hogan's voice. He says it was too muffled to make out who it belonged to. Like, you can't tell fucking Hogan's voice, even muffled. Like, it's so distinctive. But He said it was familiar enough to arouse something in his subconscious. Stephanie.
Hey, who? I'm having memories of Stephanie again. Flashbacks. I'm gonna sing Tutti Frutti Oh Rudy on that ass.
Yeah. Tutti fucking fruity. They asked about Bischoff. Heenan asks Okerlund to bribe one of the policemen to find out who the third guy is. He says no, but Shivani asks about Bischoff again, and they've had no word on Bischoff either tonight. So we get the semi-main event. Our remaining horsemen of the evening, Arn Anderson and Chris Benoit versus the Giant and Taskmaster. And this ends surprisingly, that not all it wasn't a clean sweep for the Horsemen tonight. Giant hit a choke slam on Arn Anderson in the middle of the ring and pinned him. Thing is, after the match, Giant and Kevin Sullivan start walking towards the back. Chris Benoit snaps. Won't be the first time. Chris Benoit snaps and starts Giant makes his way to the back and he grabs Sullivan before he's fully back there, starts kicking the shit out of him, throwing him in the sand up at the entranceway, ends up getting him back in the ring, and there's fucking sand all over the ring now, and Benoit's fucking hitting top rope suplexes and just beating the shit out of him, and then Woman comes running down and screaming, "Stop, Chris, enough, you're gonna hurt him, which storyline wise makes absolutely no sense. I get why they're doing it, but just from what we've seen up to this point, it makes no sense. She's with the Horsemen and with Flair, and so did they steal Woman from Kevin Sullivan? No, right?
No, she was with shit, who was she with before? I can't remember who she was with before now. Well, yeah, that's obvious. I found out, I didn't know she did some BDSM shit on the side.
Oh, did she?
Video work, some domination shit back in the day. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I happened across that.
Was Sullivan in the corner, just getting off on it?
I haven't dug that deep yet. I'll let you know when I find out, though, because I inevitably.
He's literally he tucked himself how many times now?
Curiosity will get the best of me to find out more about that situation. I'm just saying.
Trey, get back to bed. I'm doing work here. I'm doing research.
This is research, man. This is research only.
No, come in here.
That was a decent match, though. And yeah, the finish was crazy. Yeah, because storyline, it made no fucking sense at all why she would come out for the save on that.
When did Nash and Hall step in and just completely destroy storylines?
Oh, they're ready to wrestle their first match, but
when did Nash become the Booker? Though, 1998, right?
Yeah, it was 98. He took over right around the time the Finger Poke of Doom happened, because he booked.
That was after Starrcade. He booked Starrcade. I think he took over around. We could just Google this shit. I think it's October or September, sometime in the summer of '98. He took over, I think.
I'm looking right now. Yeah, it's February '99. He took over.
February '99.
Yeah, that's what it says. The gesture.
Shit, so that was after the Finger Poke of Doom.
Did Kevin Nash ruin WCW? Who was WCW Booker? Did Kevin Nash ruin WCW? Well, if you go by the Finger Poke of Doom, then probably. That was terrible, though. I don't understand why still to this day.
Yeah. So before we got on Kevin Nash and Nancy Benoit porn, which I Googled while we were talking, and the Giant runs out and chases Benoit and Woman out of the ring. He literally picks Kevin Sullivan up around his back and just walks Taskmaster over his shoulder to the backstage area. The beginning of this next match was kind of sloppy how they did this, but it's just a WCW thing. Shit like this would happen. It wasn't as well produced. They show a video package of the hostile takeover from Nash and Hall, and then Nash and Hall come out first. Commentaries flipping out about where's the third man. So then they start playing Sting's music for like 3 seconds and then stop. And then Gene Okerlund's coming out looking all baffled. And why I say they messed up was they started, like, whoever's in charge of the music and lights and stuff must have forgot Gene Okerlund was coming out before the good guys were. So it was weird. Like, it gave off the impression like they were supposed to come out, but now Gene Okerlund's going to come out and say something's happened to our good guys or something, you know, but that's not it. He comes out and asks the outsiders where their third guy is. And where I think they messed up was they basically the outsiders said that he's here and he's ready, which means obviously at the end, I can't say obviously because their third guy could have come out after Hogan, but Hogan comes out of the back, you know, at the end of this match, and they've already said their guy's here and he's ready. And Mean Gene is saying it sounds like someone familiar. And then while he's coming to the ring, Bobby Heenan's screaming, "But whose side is he on? Whose side is he on?" Like, it just feels like they pushed a little too much. Like, I probably would have figured this out if I was now how I know wrestling. If I was watching this live, I'd be like, Hogan's about to turn, you know?
Yep.
So they just like, yeah, back to Nash and Hall, you know, they say the third guy is here and he's ready. And I just think, you know, stuff like that could have been skipped. They could have just brought the faces out instead of having that awkward entrance just to kind of spoil the ending of the match.
Yeah. Overall, the match wasn't bad. You know, Hall worked his ass off during this match. And that was the one thing when Hall worked, he fucking worked. Stupid Face got laid out pretty early.
Yeah,
which,
he did to make it 2-on-2.
Yep. And Sting, you know, Sting put in work too this match. Even Nash, you know, it was their first match, so they kind of had to come out and shine a little bit. There was a couple times where I saw things that were a little bit off-timed, but you had Macho Man and Sting and Hall and Nash could work when he was healthy. And yeah, Hall, Chris Fisk, you're absolutely right. Hall was amazing in his prime. Before his demons got the better of him, I mean, God, like I said, he was one of my favorites. He's my favorite of all time, honestly. I can't even lie. I love Scott Hall.
Yeah.
But
and
yeah,
Sting, they all worked. Like Sting.
Yeah. Sting put in a lot of in-ring time during this match too. What was the time on this one?
Savage got the hot tag. What was the time on it?
16:55. So that's a decent match, plus your intros and all your promo time.
Yeah. So yeah, Savage gets the hot tag and like double axe handles these motherfuckers like 17 times. Just, you know, but it was still an exciting hot tag, and like basically he beats the shit out of Scott Hall, lays him out, starts going after Nash, who's already messed up and just starting to recover from Sting, and from the hot tag. Savage starts pulling Nash up, and Nash just with both arms wallops Savage in the balls. So now Savage is down. All 4 men are down, and Hogan comes out. You know, and he's again, the outsiders are the only ones missing a guy. You know, like we already knew who WCW's guys were, and Luger got laid out. So yeah. Anyway, Hogan comes out. Heenan screams 2 or 3 times, "Whose side is he on?" And you could tell they were a little perturbed. Like, what do you mean? Whose side was he on? Like, obviously he's on the good guy's side. You fucking usually good idiot. So yeah, we've all seen the clips from here. Hogan gets in the ring, chases Hall and Nash out, acting kind of weird anyway. He goes to chill in the turnbuckle area, and then he just lays the leg drop on Randy Savage. And the fans were ready for this. He was already getting a lot of mixed reactions anyway. Like, they talk about John Cena's mixed reactions, but he was getting some John Cena-like mixed reactions, especially when they'd be in Horseman territory. Or, like, if they'd ever, put him and Sting across from each other. The fans were always choosing Sting, most of them.
Yep.
Because that's WCW's guy,
He always was.
Man.
Yeah. Flair and Sting, and like they were choosing, I guess, tradition over the new flashy trend, and then nothing wrong with that. But they were ready. I mean, he hit that first leg drop, and right away, I mean, it just flip of a switch, they started booing the shit out of him. They weren't. You could tell if they weren't ready to boo him, there would have been some shock, like Undertaker's streak or something, getting ended. But no, there was no like silence in between the cheers and boos. It just right away, and started throwing trash in the ring. Hogan drops another leg drop as Nash and Hall are going around mocking the little ear thing Hogan would do to the crowd to get him to cheer. And Mean Gene gets in the ring, and I mean, they are throwing fucking trash. So much trash. You're seeing Pepsi cups fly by the camera, and
dude, they were getting hit with so much shit. You could see Hall talking shit to the crowd in the first row, like multiple times during that shit. Like when they were throwing stuff in there.
And then they were trying to swat some of it out of the air too, because there was so much of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And having been like not to that extent, but when we did a flip that was basically patterned right after that. Like, I mean, ripped right, I mean, almost to a fucking T. Except we didn't do a leg drop. We hit the guy with a double face buster or a diamond cutter on a chair. Me and my partner tossed Irish whipped him off the ropes. Homeboy is waiting with a chair and hit the cutter over the chair on him. And we came out. Our manager, the kid, we backed him down, and he's getting ready. And our manager went up and ripped his shirt off, and he had the team ratings colors on, and the crowd just started freaking throwing shit in the ring. We got a fuck you chant at one point. That was like, we went backstage and we were like, oh my God, it worked. Like it worked.
Awesome.
It was so much fun. And to watch this again, dude, is just, that was God, dude, that promo. Hogan wouldn't shut up though. They should have given Nash and Hall a little more mic time. He talked way too much.
It was one of his, like, just watching since Nitro started, his babyface promos were getting pretty bad, and he was a lot of stumbles. So it was kind of refreshing, like it felt a lot better, and you could feel Hogan taking his frustrations out from all those mixed reactions and just being burnt out. But like Superfan said, the first time he's like, this is the new world order of wrestling, brother. And then he goes on to say New World Organization.
Yeah.
Fucking 3-4 times after that.
Yep.
But I enjoyed the promo. I liked it. But yeah, it would have been nice to hear from Nash and Hall. But it gives you something to look forward to on Nitro.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, I don't dislike it, but yeah, it was just a little bit, like I said, because it's such an impactful statement that he made. And you're right. Yes. He did work himself into a shoot with that promo a little bit.
Yeah.
Because of the mixed reactions. So
well, that's why he mostly talked. They wanted him to be the leader of the pack for all that.
Well, he was so out of place with those two though, because look at Hall and Nash. Like Hall and Nash were like, they were the fucking cool guys. Like and then you had Hogan, who's like almost past his prime and trying to still hang, and it just wasn't. But he got it over. Obviously, he's Hulk Hogan. He get it over, and it worked.
That's why they wanted it, because he never went heel like that. And for him to do it, they wanted him to be the leader since he was the biggest star out of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least in their eyes.
It did breathe new life into the Hogan character. Like Hollywood was entertaining.
Yep. I still laughed every time I saw him with that stupid fucking beard.
The Jimi Hendrix Voodoo Child, the feather boa, the whole thing, the air guitar with Bischoff coming out.
He
Eventually,
played a good heel.
He did. He was so ready. And can you imagine if, and I'm, like I said, never been the biggest Cena fan, but if they did that with John Cena when he was at his apex, Hogan was a heel in AWA and shit like back. It was AWA. I think it was AWA back in the day.
It was so long ago. Most fans didn't know that.
Yeah, he was a heel when he first started. Like Chris said,
like
absolutely.
70s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Hogan had the most. Cena's heel turn would have been huge. It would have really been. It would have helped his career.
And Chris Fisk says he's glad Hogan didn't drop that hard W when he slept up with NWO. So good times.
That's right, man.
See, and Superfan, the alternative, if Hogan, because they weren't sure if Hogan was going to turn, they were trying to convince him, and the alternative was going to be Sting, but I think Hogan was the perfect choice, because Savage, we've seen him as a heel before. We've seen, how he can, I don't know. Hogan was just perfect. It was the perfect time. Counterculture was kind of taken over, and the whole 90s grunge scene, and things weren't as innocent as they once were.
Right.
So Hogan was, I don't know, it made me like the character a lot more.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it did, because I stopped liking Hogan when I was like, about probably like 8 or 9. Then he comes over to WCW, maybe 10, I don't know, but he comes over to WCW, and it's just like, okay, he's new company, maybe revitalize him, but he got stale again, and it was just like, this was just like, oh. Okay, Papa's got a brand new bag.
Yeah, it changes the game.
It absolutely did.
It's refreshing.
Yeah. Yes.
Yep, it was. It was fucking. It was brilliant booking. It was. It truly was. Like, you think about everything that the New World Order impacted. Like I said, down to guys like me that fucking grew up watching that shit and actually got to kind of live out your fantasy through that. So it was, man, it's left an indelible mark on wrestling fans, and I'm glad that there's the Peacock, so you can see, so new fans can see it, and see how fucking great wrestling was at one point in time. Like when it was at the mountain, when it was up at the mountaintop, daddy, whining and dining with kings and queens, baby, me and sweet Sapphire. Yeah, daddy, we shaking and baking, moving and grooving over here, cause I'm the American dream, doth the rose, baby. But no, it is, man. It's a fucking it was wonderful. It was a wonderful time to be a wrestling fan. It did. I can't think, honestly, of a better time to grow up as a wrestling fan than the era that we did.
In the same time, like, he was that good guy, baby face when we were kids and would have enjoyed it. And then we hit a certain age and he kind of turns with us,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it works.
Yeah, that absolutely.
Perfectly put, brother.
Yeah, that's sorry to Steve. That's where I That's where I get these, but it's not so bad. Like it's like $5 with commercials for Peacock.
I get mine through my cable.
Yeah, so to get the whole WWE library and WCW library, and it's not awful. You know, it's I want. I hear a lot of heat for Peacock, but I watch that a lot more than I watch like Netflix.
Yeah,
Like,
same.
There's nothing ever on Netflix I want to see except for like a couple times a year.
Right.
So,
And those couple of times a year just went to Hulu.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I gotta say that zombie shit was fucking great. That Korean one. All of Us Are Dead. I recommend that.
Yeah. I guess the Koreans have been killing it lately.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I gotta watch that show Vinny was telling me about. We're All Dead, or is that what it's called? We're All Dead. I think
All
it
of
was
Us
on
Are
Netflix.
Dead.
All of Us Are Dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was telling the
And
wife about that.
Wasn't Squid Game Korean? I haven't
Yep.
seen that either.
Yeah.
Squid
I haven't
Game,
watched
Train to
it.
Busan. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's another one too. Yeah. There's something to do with. I think they go to the moon looking for water or something. I don't know. But I only saw like part of the first episode. I have it queued up. I gotta get into it. But from what I saw so far, it looked pretty fucking good.
It's all
Dun,
100%
dun, 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 dun,
kitty
here's
porn.
the moon.
It's all 100% kitty porn. Stop watching it.
Battle Royale, like Squid Game doesn't interest me because I've seen Battle Royale like years ago, and it's basically the same premise, and I feel like, yeah,
I agree, franchise. I like HBO Max.
Yep.
I do too.
Yep.
Batman the Animated Series. Yeah.
Oh shit.
I think I'm pretty sure those are on HBO Max, Keely.
No, they're on
Yeah.
Netflix too. Absolutely
Yep,
correct.
those are still on Netflix. Because me and Trey were just watching one of those the other day.
What, the Dark Knight?
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of those movies that you would assume would just stay on HBO that are actually going back over to Netflix and some of these other services now because I guess they're finding out they can't make as much money keeping it all on their site.
Apparently not.
What if Keely Chow had an evil twin named Chili Cow?
Yeah.
It's like Bizarro Keely Chow. It's like Chili Cow.
And all he did was he asked me how the actual film is going instead of the porno.
See? See? That's Chili Cow subverting expectations.
No. Chili Cow would be saying I never want to see that because Chili Cow would be a Bible thumper.
Uh-oh. Oh, by the way, they finally did put a V for Vendetta back on Netflix as well. I just had it on while I was working the other day, and man, I forgot just how everything lined up to what the hell's happening today. Fucking everything.
Yep. There's a lot of it's mirroring reality, which probably isn't a good thing.
Well, I'll tell you
know.
what, you're talking about lining up, Vinny. You missed the lineup today. That thing was lined up properly right in the center of the screen.
What's that?
Etep knows what I'm talking about because he had to take care of business for a while after he could make it to this show.
Yes.
I had to go smoke a cigarette after that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I came in late. I missed Drew's thing, and I'm so pissed. I want to jump on.
Dude, she's honestly cool as fuck. Like
You weren't the only person. I think half the people in the chat want to jump on too.
Yeah, but I had a link. It was too late, man. I was doing other shit, and I'm like, if I go on, I'll only be on for 5 minutes, and then I gotta leave. I wasn't gonna do it.
Vinny's like, that's all I need. That's all I need.
No, I need more time than that. Come on, bro.
Well, it depends. I mean, you're a busy man, you know. Sometimes you just got to fit it in where you can fit it in.
Listen, I gotta ease it in gently, otherwise it's gonna be.
I gotta wine and dine it first.
Vinny was like his mouth was a little dry. He didn't have enough spit to get worked up before the show, so.
Oh shit!
They make
Tommy,
products
bring
from
the
that.
class.
Guys, with that, I think we're gonna wrap because I've got to go get something to eat. Like, I'm looking at my Fitbit. I've barely had anything today. I work out. It says I have like 1,700 calories still in my bank, so I'm gonna go fill some of those and
Nice.
probably get to bed not long after that because 3 a.m. comes quick. Yeah, so let's go around. Draven, what have you got going on, sir?
Just playing Elden Ring right now on Twitch. I was able to beat one of like the second bosses in it from the story. Apparently, only less than half of the world's population of Elden Ring players have beaten the first major story boss in the game since its release, which shows you how hard and difficult this game is.
Oh, fuck that.
But it's fun. But yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's it. Watch Draven do it because no one else could.
Yeah, it pisses,
I did it. I barely did it.
it pisses me off when you hear about like people writing articles and complaining about the difficulty. Like, fuck you! Not all art is for you. Stop telling people how to make their art and let people make
the
their
game
art.
like forces you to get better. Like if you're shit,
Yeah.
you either figure a way to get better or figure a way to do it with your skill set.
Yeah, go play fucking Captain Toad's Kingdom bullshit. Like if you can't fuck with Elden Ring, like it's not the artist's job to cater to you. They're fucking creating something within them in the depths of their soul, what they're feeling. And if you don't relate to it, then sorry, but I'm not going to fucking change it for you. And video games are art, you know. So
yeah, and it depends too how into the game you are and how much you want to do. I would go to Tsushima, man. I remember I beat one of the hardest characters if you didn't upgrade anything. And like it was, I stumbled upon him right in the beginning. Like one of the guys is like he's like a demon or some shit, and it's just a one-on-one duel, and you can't get out of it. So like I stumbled upon him, like oh shit. Like I died 3 times in a row.
I know
I'm like,
exactly which one you're talking about.
Yeah, and I said, no, I'm going to do this. And I had nothing. I did not upgrade him, but I beat him like on the 5th try.
yeah,
Take that,
and then
bitch.
you feel good.
Yep.
You have a sense of accomplishment, you know.
That's right.
Like there's this one that I'm stuck on right now. It's at one of the Erd trees, which is like these points of worship, but it's been corrupted by this crimson rot or whatever. And one of the guardians is also corrupted that's protecting the tree, and he'll do this jump and slam, and then it puts this crimson rod everywhere, and it like ticks really fast, and it will kill you almost in one shot. And then at range, he'll do this like yellow explosion from him and shoot these like lasers and shit at you, which are like these holy bolts, and that fucking shit, if you're not like paying attention, will fuck you up too. But it's just I can't beat him. But then there's one where they're one of those guardians that isn't like corrupted, and I was able to beat him no problem. It's that fucking crimson rot that fucks me up every time.
Well, you know what it was is you probably didn't have the golden edible underwear upgrade. Make sure you get that before you go in the bathroom.
Right. That's it. Tommy knows. What Tommy knows, he knows.
I'll have to try that.
Well, thank you, brother, for being here. It's a pleasure as always. Next up, we've got the man and his collective. Did I say man? I meant the Guinea. Tommy, what have you got going on, bro?
The same thing as always. Doing the Monday stream at 6 p.m. Going old school. Retro discussions, of course, coming up Thursday. Vinny and I got Collectible Pass, talking about those wonderful retro toys that are being done right, pissing people off left and right, doing what I do best, being a pain in the ass on every stream that I'm on. I'm a little bit under the weather right now because I did eat something towards the beginning of the stream, and it's like playing hell with my stomach. I had a Cheez-It and mayonnaise sandwich because I'm actually low on food right now. So I'm digging for the best that I have sitting in the cabinet, and it just was not a good choice right now.
I fucking love Cheez-Its, though.
Oh, dude, Cheez-Its are fucking awesome.
That's still more appetizing than Amy Schumer.
Yeah.
Anything's more appetizing.
I know. Mayonnaise and Cheez-It sandwich.
Oh.
That's right, man. Taking it right to the gutter.
Wow.
Yeah, that doesn't sound bad, but you're saying it's fucking up your stomach, so I'll take your word for it. But
what I did is instead of just having like a normal size sandwich, I decided to pull out one of these big giant burrito wraps and load it up. Yeah. Nah, it didn't sit very well, especially since I didn't eat anything else today. Yeah, it's not sitting very well.
Yeah.
Oh no.
God. Dude, this is just hilarious, man. It's like he just walked down a random aisle in Walmart and made a sandwich. Or whatever he found.
This'll do. This'll be fine.
Yeah, this is fine.
This is fine. We're all fine. Just a weapons malfunction. How are you?
You got these people just like looting these stores, like they just get under $1,000, and Tommy's like, you know what? I just feel like eating a Cheez-It sandwich.
It's me, baby. I'm just here for some Cheez-Its and bread. Maybe some mayonnaise. And fentanyl, too.
Wow. Wow.
Gotta love that.
So, thank you, Tommy.
No, always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Hell yeah. Mr. Etep.
Hi, how you doing? I'm Billy D. Williams. Have a Colt 45. No, I'm Etep Wokuian of Etep Wokuian's the place to be reviews. You can check me and Tony out tomorrow, and Draven and Brahma's Bullpen will be joining us tomorrow night at 9 Eastern. We'll have some holy shit news. What else we got on Wednesday? I'm stoned. I don't know. We got a great show planned for. I'm just kidding. We have a great show planned for you. We will be doing holy shit news and just a myriad of other fun stuff, and the quiz sensation that's sweeping the nation. Do you know me? We will be playing that tomorrow, and I promise it won't take 2 hours or an hour and a half to play the game. I promise. I'm going to work this down and condense it somehow. But yeah, we'll be doing that. I'll have my Bel Air episode 6 review coming out soon, and so much more. I'm going to watch that shithole, the 355, because I hate myself, and I miss Batwoman already. So I'm going to watch that, and I'll have a video about that. And then also you have the best of season 3 of Batwoman coming up. Yes, I said the best because it's all the lesbian gifts. And every time I made a joke about Black Joker or, Asian Ivy, not Yellow Ivy, that would be wrong of me to call her that. It's not like they made the Yellow Power Ranger Asian or anything. So why can't I call her Yellow Ivy, you fucking assholes?
That was all a coincidence.
Right? It was all coincidence. Nothing else.
And the Yellow Power Ranger is actually a dude in the original.
Well, I see. I don't fucking know. I don't know. All I know is the hot Asian chick was the fucking Yellow Power Ranger. I'm the one I remember. You son of a bitch.
Sorry, the only Yellow Power Ranger is Serena Vincent. Thank you very much.
I'll take it. I like that. Never. I'm off topic here. Goddamn Etep Casino. I'm Etep Casino here, ladies and gentlemen. This will go on for another 17 hours until morale improves. I will filibuster. No, but thank you all for tuning in tonight, man. This is always a blast over here. Flying the colors because now it's NWO time.
Oh, yeah,
and I cannot wait to hear that music for the first time. You know what I mean? That is, and just the Hogan entrance, which I think it's in 1998 when he comes out at the United Center in Chicago to Voodoo Child. It's one of his best Jimi Hendrix entrances. So that's all ahead. I got to start watching the WWF stuff too. I'm going to go back and watch King of the Ring, which I'm probably going to do now while I watch some more wrestling while I sit on the couch and get fat. And actually, no, I have to watch Bel Air, and we've been doing this for 3 hours, so I'll shut the fuck up.
Yeah, and like King of the Ring too. Like the main event is Bulldog versus Michaels. So like after Stone Cold, you can just check out. Like it's
Me
not
title shot! You bloody pissing wankers! I want me fucking title shot, you baggers!
Thank you, man. Mr. Vinny.
I love that shit. Yeah, you go watch that interview with Serena Vincent over on my channel, the Yellow Power Ranger. Also the naked chick from Not Another Teen Movie. If you missed it, go check it out. I think it's my highest rated video over there. YouTube. I am streaming over there on Fridays and Sundays. Sorry guys, I've been a little under the weather the last couple of days, trying to fight off whatever the fuck this is. I don't think it's coof, but yeah, I'm almost there. The burning in the throat stopped, thank God. But you guys don't want to hear that. I did hit 19,000 in the Shadow of the Kraken, which is awesome. That book should be done by the middle towards the end of next month. So yeah, I'm going to be ordering the stuff I need for the other tiers and stuff. I got to order my acrylic standees. I'll be showing off the keychain soon. But yeah, I'm going to get the prints as well. So yeah, we're gearing up. Things are going to move fast once it's time. But I got a couple more pages to paint up, and then I got to do the lettering. So campaign number 6 is going to be coming at you very soon. So I can't wait for that. And yeah, you guys are all awesome. You can catch me over on everybody's channel on all different days of the week, and because we'll be going long, I won't get into the details, but you heard it from the rest of these folks, these fine gentlemen. So yeah, go subscribe, go like, and support independent creators. We have amazing ones out there. Chris Fisk, Red Gaze, Liam. There's so many great ones out there. So, amen to that.
Good times, man. Thank you for coming on tonight, talking some WCW/NWO.
Hell yeah, man. Wouldn't miss it.
Hell yeah. And yeah, guys, that's about it. Just remember to check back next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Clown World Review. We're going to be talking about the aftermath of Bash at the Beach. We're also headed towards Some in Your House for WWF. I think it's International Incident or something. They're just starting to build the card over there, but, more importantly, we're starting to build up towards SummerSlam. After SummerSlam, I think it starts getting a lot better for WWF. Vince is going to realize over the next few weeks that he better start getting his act together because WCW is about to be on fire. So yeah, good times. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I'm not going to go through everyone's names tonight. I'm too hungry. But you know who you are. Thank you for not just, joining us tonight, but keeping the chat alive, keeping it cracking all night long, adding your opinions and adding conversation, and always makes it more interesting. And I love all of you. You guys are the best. I love all of you on the panel. You guys are the best as well. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to continuing this series. And, in my opinion, we're just getting to the good part now. We're right at the beginning, and we've got quite a few years of just, really exciting, really compelling television.
For sure.
Ahead of
because no one else said it. We love you too, brother.
Thank you.
Yep, we love you, man.
Yeah, love you.
Fuck yeah.
And you completely no homo way.
No, it's completely gay. It's fucking over the top, flamboyantly, fucking parades and streamers gay.
It's just not. It's not. Frog behind the pizza parlor gay. But
no, not that kind of gay. That's the dirty. That's the dirty kind. That's like the kind you don't talk about.
The dirty gay.
Yeah.
The dirty one you don't talk about at family reunions, like the blue oyster. That's like blue oyster gay.
That gayness is measured in Kelvin. Like that's her brain.
And Tommy, they went to go throw out the trash. Like, what's this fruit doing back here? Holy shit! They beat him with some pipes.
Yeah. So remember, they are not pop culture. They are agenda. We are pop culture. And we'll see you tomorrow for Wednesday Night